Alright, let's just get into it. We're gonna start on the murder on the Warp Express. 15 chapters, okay. Hopefully it's not as bad as the time-killing one. See. Alright, how did this happen? First, we boarded the warp train to get to our next destination, P Corp. Got into our fancy first-class flash freeze hibernation capsules, and we were supposed to arrive at P Corp after a quick blink of an eye, but... Dante, please respond. There's... Oh, we're in like ice freezing. Okay, I see. The first thing I saw when my vision returned was the perplexed look on Foss, who had entered hibernation at the same time as I did. Then I realized that we woke up mid-transit on the warp train, which could only mean that we're now stranded in some lost, unknown dimension? Dante, I understand your considerable degree of disorientation, but... What the hell happened? First things first, let's rewind and return to the very start of this highly unfavorable situation we find ourselves in. A few days ago. Our next destination is to a warp train, Dante. What? Yep, that's where it all started. There I was, still perplexed by the incidents at T-Corp, with my awful idea of clearing the air by asking Virgilius for our next destination, not knowing the storm that my innocent question would bring. Verily, I must have misheard? I'm quite certain you didn't, Quixote. We are now en route to the T-Corp warp train station. That warp train station must have some conundrum that must be resolved there indeed. A quest that must be swiftly addressed at the station, yes? Did the distortion pop up at one of the warp platforms or something? I see that you're now significantly less disinclined to take on some side jobs, but no. We are boarding the warp train to get to P Corp. End of story. There's nothing between the lines, so don't try reading into it. It was only natural that the sinners immediately fell into a state of collective dumbfounded shock. None of the sinners have any history of working at W Corp, but we're actually taking that train? Through what vague information we could gather from the identities, we all had some fragmentary knowledge about the terrible secrets of the warp train's operations. I initially considered hiding this information from the rest of the sinners, but since sharing things with everyone and letting them get their 2 cents in usually ended up being pretty helpful, I've been sharing more of these as of late. Though I have very dim, if present at all, recollections from time during which I wore the identities. It can be determined from the conversational records between the manager and the identities that the mechanisms behind warp trains' operations can be deemed as somewhat bizarre and inefficient. Oh yeah, it's that 10-second trip that actually takes a long time, right? And when the train reaches the destination, they just wipe the passenger's memory? I also heard that the passengers get so tired and weary that they start literally ripping and tearing into one another. Sounds like I might finally have a chance to see a masterpiece with my own eyes. Even when the sinners wear the identities through my identity cards, the identities' memories or beliefs don't bleed into them once it's over and done with. I remember when Faust explained that due to the risk associated with embracing such influences, there was a filtering process to intentionally block them from reaching the sinners. That's why the sinners could use the identities of some of our worst enemies without getting infected by their philosophies and whatnot. But it also meant that they couldn't retain any new information that each identity had to offer. That's why I keep a record of some things that sound particularly important and sometimes share it with the rest of the sinners. My voice doesn't really carry well past the window, so most of our communications are one-sided, but I had an abundance of W Corp identities, so it wasn't difficult to piece together the truth behind the trains. But, maybe ignorance really is bliss. Your alarmed response and possible incompliance have already been accounted for. Lady Faust, then thou hast known this all along? Wherefore hast thou not deigned to tell me of this? Faust has indeed known this all along, as no knowledge is out of Faust's reach. As expected, a solution to your dilemma has already been prepared. I seriously doubt your solution involves not getting on the train, so what is it? The bus. Oh, what about this bus? There's no way this thing fits inside a train car. Cadon vetoes, too. No one to feed Mephi. Oops. I didn't. I clicked too fast again. Miss Foss. The rearmost tail cars of warp trains are all freight cars. That is where Mephistopheles will be safely fastened and transported. And the LCB will have the benefit of boarding as first-class passengers. The bus begins to swell with noise again, though in a slightly different air to the alarm response from earlier. First-class passengers? What? The seats for those pompous tops? Even on normal trains, you got these thoughts whose proudest accomplishment in life is planting their arses in first-class seats, while others are cramming themselves into freight cars because they haven't the cash for even an economy ticket. Blah. Hey, don't look at me. I've never been in one of those first-class seats before either. Isn't the ticket for a single first-class seat like as expensive as 3-4 months' salary of a first-year wing employee? Can our budget really handle getting a ticket for all of us? The company's budget is not a subject that warrants your concern. I heard first-class passengers get some cool bonus stuff like personalized private capsules or something, don't they? That is the promotional language, yes. They are flash freeze hibernation capsules to be precise. Blah. They have been designed to easily withstand the true amount of time it takes for the warp train to travel from point A to point B. The trip will be over in a blink of an eye for the passengers. The company's regard for our well-being is unfamiliar yet welcome. To be provided such extravagance merely for our comfort. Such occurrence is quite seldom. Right? I honestly thought they were going to slip just the guide and Karon into the first-class seats and ship the rest of us in the economy cars. This seems like an unnecessary luxury. They should have saved their budget and given only the executive manager and their loyal advisor access to those seats. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're taking the train to get to our next mission, alright? We have to think about the unique nature of the warp trains and prepare ourselves accordingly. Alright? I know it's first class and all, but warp trains are just plain creepy. I knew you'd also be worried about... For example, economy passengers are going to have a hard time getting into a first-class car, if they can even attempt to open it, I mean. I'm pretty sure the door separating the cars is ironclad. Ishmael, who had been holding that first-class promotional pamphlet in her hands for a while, was chattering on with fire in her eyes. We won't even have to lift a finger. We just have to board the train, get into our capsules, shut our eyes, and snooze through the entire ride until all that mess in the other cars blows over. I heard they used to give out a commemorative merch back when their finances weren't in the gutter and... Oh. A true adventure is not without its hardships, yet even the most exalted of heroes cannot venture without respite. And in very rare occasions, the hero may even deign to select a first-class seat to rest in place of a quaint inn. Indeed, indeed. Seems like everyone was at least somewhat interested in the fabled first-class seats of warp trains. I could sense that there was a growing consensus among the sinners that even a warp train trip might be acceptable if it meant that they could ride in the first-class seats. I will board the train if I must. Is first-class seating mandatory? I prefer the scenic route. Don't want to miss out on all the fun. Virgilius pretended to not hear Roche's question. Very well, then I assume that we are all in agreement. Let's go. I have a matter of great import to discuss with thee. What is it? Out with it, lass. Beating around the bush ain't like you. Don Quixote carefully began, almost whispering in a low voice. That is, in the first class seats. I have heard tell that we must board with our feet freed from our boots. Doth that claim hold water? Oh, come on now. What kind of nonsense gossip is this coming from this time? 'Tis no gossip, forsooth. I have overheard aught from those we have walked past here today, and... When one of them inquired, you know that you gotta go barefoot in first class, right? The other responded with, of course, man. What am I, stupid? Doth the traveler speak true, Ismail? Don't ask me. I've never been on one of these either. I don't remember seeing anything like that on the pamphlet. Give me a sec. I mustn't be separated from Rocinante. Not even for a twinkle. I shan't toss Rocinante to the side next to such vulgarities like the ugly shoes of Sir Heathcliff. Oh, you little... I implore thee, O illustrious red gaze, prithee grant me thy permission and allow me to board with Rocinante. I expected Virgilius to answer with his usual exasperated rebuff. Contrary to my expectations, however, he responded in a somewhat serious tone. if tainted by that familiar annoyance. Fine, keep your shoes on. Hello, Isophily. Hello. Oh, I added an I to end of her name. Oops. Hello, how are you? How are you? I didn't know Dawn was so... How should I say it? Not picky. Very specific. Like, I didn't know Dawn was sensitive when it comes to, like, keeping her shoes on and off. Like, it's just shoes. I don't remember how her shoes look like. This place is huge. That was my first impression of the warp train station. Oh, so this is... Don Quixote shouted vibrantly, immediately recovered from her previous apprehension of the sheer possibility that she might be separated from Rocinante. So each nest has one of these massive structures in them? I've got nothing. Oh, I know anything about what they're asking? Heathcliff asked, gesturing toward Marisol with his chin. Every warp train station has been built with a general design philosophy that draws from their respective nest architectural idiosyncrasies. It can also be said that many critics in relevant fields praise the warp train stations as one of the many cultural cornerstones of the city. It'll eat beef but chillin'. Aw. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming by. Make sure to drink water. Stay hydrated. I have no idea when it happened, but Heathcliff started treating Mersalt like a walking encyclopedia from time to time. Mersalt! Young Mersalt! Hello, is that passenger over yonder one from the west? Incorrect. Leather-based clothing and metal armor are predominant fashion trends often visible in the outfits of the western population, while the individual cloth-based style is something ubiquitously observed throughout the population of north and south. They are largely considered to be an eastern fashion trend, rarely seen among western. Prithee slow thyself, for I must make a record of thy lectures. The other running shoes in each of our identities? Ooh, okay. I'm gonna take a good look at her shoes, because like I low-key have never paid attention to her shoes. I'm not gonna lie. I will, you too. I shall. Don't worry. Not gonna lie, I feel like after the time-killing interlude, I'm so like I feel like I'll be my endurance for narrating has increased. Slowly but surely. What wisdom dost thou have to impart regarding the fashion of the northern region? I once espied in a magazine that they are garbed in puffy, loose-fitting outfits, understandably so given the colder climate of the region. An opportunity for a first-hand observation stands before you. Huh? Wow! Hello, Laser! Ah! 3 seconds of screaming duet, one of other fascination, the other of unmitigated frustration. What the shit? You nearly blew out my eardrums! You're the one to talk? Dude, I've got an audible frequency range expansion implant in my eardrums. Holy shit, man. Now get the hell out of my way. You're blocking the walkway like a ragtag band of pigs who never ever seen a warp train before. Damn it, I take the train all the way here for an expedition only to lose my target, and now these assholes are trying to blow out my eardrums. Great, just great. I love this. For real, the Yappers is a raid boss. No, the yapping definitely was a boss by itself. It was a battle. Yes, the warp train, Laser, the warp train. Guys, is it that obvious that we've never been on a warp train before? And the round trip ticket fee came straight out of my damn pocket. Whoa, watch out, big fella. Someone might get seriously hurt if you keep swinging those 4 arms around, each holding a weapon to boot. Prithee, wilt thou stand still for but a moment to satisfy a few inquiries of mine regarding thy outfit? Oh, yes, stand in absolute stillness for 5 minutes and I... Seriously? The fixie with a particularly impressive set of prosthetic arms spent a few minutes venting several of his numerous grievances at us before storming off to a different platform. Tis grant the city of sundry odd personalities. I'm pretty sure he was thinking the same thing. I guess there really are a lot of people in the city with full body prosthetics. That's when Virgilia slowly walked up to our group. Well then, we'll rendezvous at the destination. Huh? Will the illustrious Red Gaze not ride alongside us? W Corp policy demands that fixers bestowed with a color title must board a train especially prepare for them instead. Oh, are you like writing the first class plus or something? That's a color fixer for you, I guess. Special treatment from the wings no matter where he goes. Karon wants to go back to Mephi. Mephi will feel lonely. I've told you before, Karon. 3 separate times, actually. Each time I brought you to one of those candies that people aren't allowed aboard the freight cars. Then Miss False. Yes. Virgilius, after exchanging a knowing look and a nod with False, escorted the particularly peeved Karon away. Dante, let us proceed this way. We followed False guidance to the entrance of our train car. Damn. Whoa, hey, our colors are starting to come back. Oh! Hey, these must be the fabled complimentary food and drink of the first class seats. Heck yeah, of course, quality stuff like these gotta be included with that insane pricing. The general response to this room was a surprise at the rows upon rows of expensive-looking sizable capsules. Flash freeze hibernation, huh? I guess it literally freezes our bodies in a flash? Boss, are these flash freeze hibernation devices safe? Please elaborate on your exact definition of safe. These things are supposed to freeze us solid, right? Can we really come back from something like that? A flash freeze hibernation device will put you in a temporary state of death caused by rapid cellular cryopreservation process. However, the rapidity of the process prevents damage to your cells during the phase change. Therefore, in most normal cases, this will not cause any issues. False is aware that this model has fully resolved cell membrane breaching issues caused by cryogenic density change or by ice crystals growth of water molecules. What the heck? I missed about half of what you said, but your point is that it's safe, right? Yes, as far as False is aware, even if an issue were to arise during the journey, because everyone will be reverted to their states at the beginning of the train trip upon arrival, there won't be any lasting complications from the said problem. You got some real talent in dragging out something so simple as, yeah, it's safe, to so many words, seriously. Indeed, as False talents are not limited to a singular field. Okay, but that still leaves a lot to be worried about. Just as I was wondering, however, I realized that there was something odd about the way she phrased that answer. As far as False is aware, are you saying that it could be wrong? As a general rule, False does not, however, False is also not a divine being. There are certain information in the world that False is yet to have access to. Therefore, while False may speak the facts, what is said may not always align with the truth. Okay. They don't call first class for nothing, I guess. Picor's way up there in the northernmost corner of the city, but this'll take us in the blink of an eye. That's one hell of a time saver. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Prepare thyself, Rocinante. Thus begins the long jaunt. Oh, I've been meaning to ask Don Quixote. Do you ever, wash those shoes? Where'd that come from, Rhodia? No, I mean, like, think back to when we were inside that... Wait. Whale. When the whale blew up, we got all kinds of its gross, slimy bits on us. They were on our clothes, our shoes, everything. Yeah? And do you remember how much we had to scrub to get that bloody, fishy, fleshy gunk out of our clothes? This really isn't something I want to revisit, but yeah. Right? And do you also remember how Don Quixote never took her shoes off once during that whole ordeal? Okay, I guess they do look a bit filthy. ISE, dear compatriots, hast thou ever witnessed an errant... Oh, hello! Hello, Him-chan! Thank you for the raid, thank you! Much appreciated! Smelled you again? Eh? Am I getting smelled? Did I do my laundry? Of course! Of course? Of course I did! Of course I did. Of course I did. I did do my laundry. What about you, Him-chan? Did you... I can sniff you back too? That doesn't sound too certain. No, don't worry. I did my laundry. I did my laundry. Thank you for the raid once again. Thank you. How was your Limbus company stream? I hope your stream went well this morning. It was... Oh. Sitting dinner. Apology raiders. Welcome. Thank you, V. Thank you. Got through Kanto 2. Ooh, okay, okay. See, I knew it was a good idea to ask first so I don't accidentally spoil anything. Okay. Oh, man. Kanto 2. I believe that's Rhodius chapter, right? Oh. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just saying, man, the moment you're gonna reach Kanto 3, Kanto 3 is when things are gonna go like, ooh. you gotta go through Kanto 3 as soon as you can, Hyun-chan. It's like one of the best. Well, personally, I think it's one of the best. I think it's where it definitely gets good. I am. Gonna go. But yes, oh man. How's the Limbus company for you so far, actually? This weekend, and I'm ready to go. Let's go! I hope you enjoy Kanto 3 as much as everybody did. Also, hello, Abigani. Hello. Hello, Elise. Yes, I don't know if you care about spoilers. If you do care about spoilers, it's, might be better for you to possibly not watch. I don't want to spoil you accidentally or anything. But I do appreciate the raid. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the follow, Elise. Thank you. Welcome. I'll lurk and support. Oh my god, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Oh, thank you for the follow as well, Him-chan. Thank you. I'll check back at your guys' channel afterwards and I'll give you guys a follow back too. Gotta support each other. But thank you guys so much once again for the raid and thank you for following as well. Much appreciated. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the story. And just in case for those that may not be catched up with the story, don't want spoilers. Just in case. I really don't want to spoil anybody. It's amazing. It's a good story. I want everybody to go through respectively in their own time as well. Alright, yes. I'm gonna hold up, let me see. Alright. ISC, dear compatriots, hast thou ever witnessed an errant knight who leaves the side of their beloved steed? You're all cut up. Oh, let's go! I'm slowly going through the Warp Express, and I'm going to be trying to get into Kanto 7 soon. But this stream will mostly be focused on the Warp Train Express. This train might be warping IDK. You're so right, Grink. You're so right. Also, hello, Grink. How are you? Can't say I've ever witnessed a night before, though. Then thou shalt know, starting now, behold it, hearken to it, and remember it well. They don't spare us even a moment of quiet, do they? Well, have you been on one of these, Otis? I've been treated to premium VIP seats of similar grandiosity back then. This is nothing to fuss over. Otis, who was sitting there and shaking her legs, suddenly asked Faust a question. Hey, you're confident that no accidents ever occurred on one of these first-class cars, yes? In order to prevent cases of unnecessary anxiety and misgivings among the sinners, the history of accidents that had occurred aboard war trains will not be shared. Wait, what the? Oh. Oh, I think we're leaving soon. This is for the warp train PW612 bound for P-Corp boarding period is ending soon. The sinners who were either leisurely enjoying their complimentary snacks or taking a look around the first-class car suddenly became a lot busier. Then let us hurry and enter our capsules before it is too late. Oh no, why isn't this... The other sinners made it into their capsules no problem, but... I felt like I was the only one who's fumbling. Is it anxiety, Dante? I think so. Initiating warp in 10 minutes. Allow me to assist you. Stand as though you are leaning back and... Faust I'm dead. I cannot believe we can immediately tell that's literally Dawn right there. That's Dawn, Yizhang. That Rhodia? Who is that? Honglu. That's Roshu probably. Lock with all the fights? Oh. I'm hoping the fights are not too bad in this interlude. Developer the train expresses itself. Yes. I have to say I really like your smile. It's super cute. Your model is really well done. Distinct, very adorable. Oh, thank you. I'm happy you like it. My mama did an amazing job on my model. Her by the way guys, my mama, my VTuber mama, her links are below if you guys do want to check her out. I know her commissions are open. She's also worked on my opening and ending screen, and she's really amazing, an amazing artist. So go check her out too if you guys want to. Yeah. Really happy with I'm happy that you guys like my model too. But yeah, that is very Dawn-coded. Imagine getting freeze like that. False expertly guiding me into the castle as though she'd done something like this before, then press the button inside the castle that closed that hatch. Do not worry too much. We will meet again in but a moment, Dante. I thought I heard a brief sigh, but the hatch shut tightly before I could ask her anything. Initiating warp. Please confirm that your seatbelts are firmly fastened. The last thing I saw before my castle began to fill with gas was False climbing into her own castle opposite of mine. I had no idea then what she really meant by, we will meet again in but a moment. Dante. You must wake up, Dante. But one thing I knew for sure was, an inconceivable situation has occurred. That something had seriously gone wrong. Should I be concerned? Is it bad? Did something go bad with the freezing? I don't believe you, so I'm gonna check myself. Yeah. Don't trust me. Go check it out yourself. Go check out the links yourself. Damn. Something always... You're right. Something always does go wrong. Something never goes right, which is the funny thing. I feel like every time, I feel like everybody's so used to it too. Everybody's like, wait, it's going too well. It's going too smoothly. Something's gonna happen. Or something, I feel like something bad is gonna happen. We're here already? Well, I guess that wasn't an exaggeration at all. It all really happened in the blink of an eye. As always, Faust was giving me her usual look, which was a complete lack of any emotive expression. Which I suppose is why it didn't immediately register that something had gone awry. No, we are not yet at our destination. Huh? When I finally came to, and after I had some time to digest that odd reply, I looked up at her face once again, and realized that her expression was more antsy than usual by a microscopically minuscule degree. So this train is still running. Yes. Then where are we? I believe we are currently stranded in an unidentified dimension. Coordinates unknown. I took a reflexive deep breath from the sheer horror of the numerous implications stuffed into that dryly delivered sentence. When that passed, the first thing that struck my mind was that we were about to suffer the very thing that we were so worried about. I see. But I soon found myself calming down. Yeah, this had to be a part of False's plan. She probably saw this coming from a mile away. I'm sure she's about to probably tell me every little detail of her plan that will help us out of this situation. But this is all just part of a plan, right, False? That was an unusually long silence from False. You are half correct, yet half incorrect. With that, False let me flounder in the chaotic stream of vaguely terrifying information as she began stopping by each castle to wake the sinner. Oh, we're here already? Man, it really happened in the blink of an... No. Oh, what's this? We're here already for real? It really happened in the blink of an... No. Whoa, we're here already? I guess I really wasn't worrying over nothing. No. No. This is tragic. Oh my god. Doesn't even let Yuseng say a single word. Oh my god. Doesn't many times we succeeded, which is super nice in the game. We aren't just super powered, OP power friendship. That is very true. That is very true. Honestly, I like it that it's very realistic in its own way. Like, there's no, like, happy endings, you know? It's kind of, like, realistically, like, the best option kind of situation. In the more realistic point of view. And also, can we just talk about how amazing the character development is in this game? God. Yet I have not uttered a single word. There was a brief cheer, a little hurrah about regaining our colors, followed by a flat-toned explanation of our current predicament, which was then followed by a long, loaded silence, which was a sequence of events I had the pleasure of watching play out on about 10 consecutive occasions. Dante, I understand your confusion. However, perhaps an elaboration of our present circumstance is necessary. And that brings us to the present. Let me get this right. This train's still running, and we're drifting through some unknown dimension. Oh, about that striketh me as quite dramatic. Most importantly, are you saying that you already knew this would happen, Faust? Yes. Huh. What the hell is wrong with you, huh? The sinners each begin to voice their anger. Of course, this wasn't the first time Faust and Virgilius intentionally and knowingly omitted certain details about events in our path. What, are you insane? It's not like we can just retreat or jump out that door when stuff hits the fan. Opening the door will result in nearly immediate destruction of the physical body. But hey, Faust, at least you know what to do like you always do. You've got a plan, right? Faust does not have a plan, guys. Oh yeah, Ishmael? Oh my god. Okay, so I think personally, by the way, if nobody wants to hear spoilers, click away for a bit. But I mean, I guess if you're watching, you should be kind of aware about like what I'm gonna talk about already, probably. But I think Ishmael definitely got the happiest ending. I think Yi Sing's ending was the most how should I say it? Most heartfelt to me, because I feel like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure everybody has noticed, once after Yi Sing's chapter, like, he opens up to wanting to be more closer friends with everybody all together, with the sinners. And I found that insanely cute, and I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry. Especially, it really tugged at my heart when at the ending of his, you know how there's like every sinner at their chapter, they have their own like ending song. It hit me in the heart when he was looking down at the mirror during his song ending credit, and halfway through, he looks up and looks around at the sinners because he's happy that he's around everybody. Like, oh my god. I will never shut up about that moment. God, it hits so hard. It hits hard. Fishmile, sorry. Oh. I love how we're giving them all nicknames. I remember I didn't know Rodion had a nickname until everybody was like Rodia. And I was like, ah. Oh my god, for sure. For sure. I think it's so interesting to me because a lot of the Kanto endings are super like, some of them are like, it's like bittersweet, or some of them is very like, oh, like it's like a heartfelt moment, or it's kind of like, oh, it's like a long journey that everybody's been through, and it's like you see how the sinners like slowly get together after this long journey, especially the sinner that the chapter's about. I think that's why I always say that the ending song, the pass on song for every chapter, is always my favorite part of each chapter. It's always my favorite part. I always tune into it. I rewatch it on YouTube sometimes. It's always my favorite. And it's even better because even though the lyrics are the same, I feel like you can always read the lyrics and just like you can feel the emotions just stirring up inside you because of like how the story was, especially for the sinner. They were a minute and didn't reappear for a while. When she did, she probably should have said something after me. I think. Oh yeah. There was like a few things here and there. I low-key, I remember when Ishmael just like was melting in Kanto 4. I was a little bit like, whoa. I was very concerned. I like how they also like bring it back. Like they talked about that moment too, during her chapter, because like as we're Dante, like Dante's like, I know Ishmael is a good person because Ishmael saved me, and then they refer back to that moment. Oh yeah, the bat change. The bat change, guys. Oh. God, I love Limbus Company. I love Limbus Company. Yeah, I love that they refer back to the past. Because it makes you remember, it's like, oh yeah, they did do that. Or it's like, oh yeah, like that moment, you know? It's pretty good. God, Limbus Company is so good. We love Limbus Company. We love Limbus Company here. Right? Boss, whom I had rarely ever seen at a loss for words, was unusually slow to respond. What's up with her? Lass looks totally out of it today. He gives me a sideways glance. There must be something she can't discuss in front of the sinners. Guys, let's pause for a bit. He said that something inconceivable's happened. The other sinner's anger was completely understandable. It also makes sense that this continued lack of communication was harming our trust in Faust. Alright, we're going to go over the situation from the start, okay? But just letting things play out might really turn everyone against Faust, and for good. Besides, I doubt Faust woke us up in the middle of the trip just to spite us. First things first, I gotta get the sinners to calm down. Then I'll ask Faust to tell us what happened. If there's a problem, we'll figure it out and deal with it as we move along. Tell us what's going on, Faust. All of it. And in a way that we can all understand. Let's hear her out first. Is that okay with you guys? If you say so, I'll go along with it. Fine. I suppose losing in my rage rarely ever did anything. Thank you. Then, after some time, oh yeah. I first started Limbus Company because I thought, when I first saw it as like, oh, it's like a gacha game, but it's just very gory and bloody. It's kind of like, I haven't really seen that before, considering the gacha games that I'm usually used to playing. Which is why it piqued my interest. And I was like, kind of like, you know what, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try, you know? I'm kind of curious to see what's so different about this from other gacha games. And that's when I got dragged into the deep hole of Limbus Company. Because little did I know, the story was so good. And I just, wow. Came for the gacha game, stayed for the story. The gist of Faust's explanation was as follows. The cause of this issue, as always, involved a certain contract and an unilateral decision from the higher-ups of Limbus Company. W Corp caught wind of Limbus Company's recent distortion contract management promotions, and decided to contract us to deal with a mysterious repeated series of incidents suspected to have been caused by distortion, after multiple failed attempts to resolve it on their own, of course. Distortions themselves likely did not pose a problem for W Corp based on the available information. It can be determined that they have all been neutralized as soon as the train arrived, and any transformed passengers would have been reverted to their human forms. But the real issue was that the passengers were disappearing. Passengers spirited away? Alas, such is an impossibility aboard these trains, is it not? That is the question for which we must discover the precise cause and effect of. Did W Corp share anything to get us started? That appears to be the most prominent cause of this misunderstanding. She explained that W Corp refused to share anything about the trains because they were concerned about maintaining the secrets of their singularity. Maybe that's exactly why they sought out an upstart business like Limbus Company to deal with this, now that I think about it. We wouldn't even know where to start if we didn't have access to the information that the identity cards had to offer. Oh my god, the coupon. We do not... The coupon man. I always... It's so funny because I always... Every time I mention the coupon man, I just talk about the trauma I experienced from that goddamn boss. We are all coupon man haters. Get back to the remainder when there's nothing. A coupon man wrote a bunch of insults but erased it in the end. Because everyone forgot about Kathy. Ah. We'll never forget. We'll never forget Kathy, guys. Saying this is so true to how they develop. Yep. Yep. Faust produced what appeared to be a key card with W Corp logo on it before continuing with her explanations. However, we are given this master key card that can open and close the hibernation capsules at will. We may return to our respective castles as soon as the contract is fulfilled and safely complete the rest of the journey as we had planned from the beginning. These bloody wings. Every single one of them's been absolutely barmy. I think it's a bit unkind of them to ask us to finish the puzzle without all the important pieces. At least the Corp, their chief executive director, tagged along as our assistant, not to mention kindly explaining so many new things to us. It sounds like Miss False was stuck between a rock and a hard place herself. Some sinners grew more receptive after explanations, albeit with a sigh. I would have appreciated it if you at least gave us a hint. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but it's not like there's someone out there monitoring your every move and every word, right? That is... Huh. But not everyone was willing to let this go without saying their piece. Next time, I will take your inputs into account. Oh, she looks... You can see that her eyebrows are a little bit, like, furrowed. Like, I had to, like, squint for a second. I was like, Oh, false. I feel like I've never seen her this way, so this is, like, really new to me. Oh my god. I'm gonna be honest, if I wasn't streaming the whale part and I didn't have everybody to help me, guide me through the whale boss, a lot of the bosses in Kanto 5, I probably would have been stuck on that boss, like, in Kanto 5 for a long time. And to remember was also in game, but it's only in story sprite. Damn. Maybe they'll update it in the future, who knows. Oh yeah, it'd be very weird to see Faust a bit more emotional. It's like, it's not like weird in a bad way, it's just like I'm not used to it. I'm not used to seeing her like this. And that's everything I can do for her. It's an undeniable truth that Faust has disappointed the sinners with what she's done. But she is Faust, after all. I'm sure she has backup plans of backup plans to get us out of this situation. So what's next on our agenda? Yeah, what's done is done, right? Besides, it's not like we gotta rot away for thousands of years inside this metal box. That is something I must first discuss with Dante. Discuss? But discussing things with other people is very unlike Faust. What are we discussing, Faust? We must converse in a lower volume, Dante. Well, why are we whispering? Her secretive attitude only exacerbated my already battered sense of safety. My connection to Giselle's shaft, Faust, has been severed. I'm sorry, what? I cannot access Faust's knowledge at the moment. I guess I really was right to be anxious. What? Faust got kicked off her Discord server? Not gonna lie, that sounds exactly what it is. Like, what's happening? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? You're disconnected from Faust. You're Faust. Let me just hydrate real quick, guys. Make sure to hydrate, everybody. Oh, I agree with you, Elise. I agree. Back then, like, Dante was like, oh, I don't know what to do. What the hell is happening? And now Dante's like immediately like, all right, so let's do this. This is the plan, everybody. This is what we're gonna do. I love this. I love this Dante character development too. He probably got pranked. Banned from the server. All Faust in there can no longer tolerate her. What is happening? Oh, okay. So let's bring in Priest Gregor. We love Priest Gregor, right, guys? Right? Yeah. Now, what are we fighting is the question. What do you mean you can't? I mean it in the most literal sense. My access to false input and information, which has always been readily available, is completely severed. Oh, what if everything about the situation is something you don't have access to yet, like you said last night? One cannot completely dismiss that possibility, but even that is uncertain. Every answer Faust is giving me was always full of confidence and methodical expertise. I don't think she's ever said a sentence that was this full of speculation and doubt. Then Faust, you are... Yes. At this moment, I am limited to operating only with my knowledge. I cannot discern the cause of the disconnection. More than enough precautions have likely been taken in case of interdimensional travel, but perhaps Faust did not take into account an occasion in which we may have to access an unidentified dimension, such as this. Or even if it was taken into account, this particular dimension may not have yet been subject to cross-observation. If that is not the case, then No, never mind. There was nothing that suggested that my connection to Faust would be lost, not even as we boarded the train. To be honest, this is a rather disagreeable situation for me. Alright, for now that changes everything. I recalled the last thing I saw before the hatch on the capsule closed, when Faust told me not to worry too much. Okay, so this is just a minor setback. Nothing we can't beat, right? We got this. I get to mutter like I was trying to convince myself. As the manager, my job is to calm everyone down and set their sights on the future, just as Faust did for me immediately before the hatch closed. If you're right about why you were disconnected, then that problem will solve itself once we're off the train. And if we do ever run out of options, I'll just turn the clock and see what happens. Don't stress yourself too much. We still have a lot to work with. Your knowledge, my, clock, the sinners, and... I could feel my confidence taking a hit with every word that came out of my metaphorical mouth. But that seemed to be enough for Faust. She nodded. Understood. And to the sinners. The fact that we are currently confined to a warp train in operation must be a source of enough stress. I believe that sharing Faust's current state with them would add an unnecessary source of tension. What, so wrecking this door ain't gonna do anything? We're all going to bite it once it opens? How many times do I have to tell you that you're not even strong enough to break this door down? 1 billion years in this box. Yeah, good idea. So what now? Do we have to take a searching speech around each car or something? In the grand scheme of things, yes. Faust cleared the air with a cough before continuing. By A-Corp standards timescale, approximately 3 days have passed since our departure. As per the contract between Limbus Company and W-Corp, I acquired the master keycard placed inside my capsule and adjusted the hatch settings to open automatically in 3 days. 3 days, huh? I feel like I just blinked, and I guess that's hibernation for you. As you were all informed prior to boarding, there's no way for the economy class passengers to enter the first class car. That is why this place has remained untouched. However, cross-referencing my own deductions and W-Corp's rather fragmentary explanations, I can assume that the situation is currently under progress in the economy class cars. The part where they thrashed the shite out with one another, tearing their limbs off and all that mess? No, I doubt that. I don't think it gets that bad in just 3 days. Besides, that's supposed to be business as usual for W-Corp, right? There must be something else that's out of the ordinary that they want us to deal with. Precisely. In my opinion, it is... Oh, hold that thought for a moment. Just as Faust was about to continue, Don Quixote raised her index finger to her lips and signaled her to be quiet. Dost thou hear aught as I do? Scratching, nay rapping, forces past his gate must be... As Don Quixote kept listening with her ear to the door, an odd expression of half curiosity and half horror appeared on her face. It is possible that there must be... Lady Faust? After that very distressful noise, everyone simultaneously turned their heads to look at Faust, who closed her eyes briefly in thought. Please step aside for a moment, Don Quixote. It would be best if I observed it with my own eyes. With that, she produced the master keycard from her pocket and approached the panel installed next to the door. Whoa, hang on a minute, you're going to open the door? I tend to follow your usual flavor of suggestion, Heathcliff. That there are times in which a physical altercation is preferable to detached ruminations. Huh? My suggestion? Well, I ain't going to disagree with you there, but what's gotten into you, lass? After all, how could I deduce anything without seeing it myself? Bleep. After a brief mechanical beep... Oh, that's not good. Gregor, oh my god, there's no... Guys, we are not calling Gregor Pregor right now. I need to know what started this meme, by the way. What started the Pregor meme? I need to know. I've never gotten any context about that, by the way. I've always been in the dark about it. Stop. There's no way. There's no way the community decided to say Pregger because of Priest Gregor. There's no way. There's no way. Oh my god, no. Oh my god. Is that his nickname now, guys? Pregger. Pretty good. It's a name, alright. It's a name. Wow, I didn't know the Limbus company community could be so creative. I would have never thought of that, not gonna lie, guys. I need Dante in a cheerleading outfit with the belly button showing. You know what's actually kind of crazy, guys? I thought when I first started Limbus company in the first chapter, the introduction, right? I thought Dante was a girl. I thought Dante was a girl. The reason why I thought Dante was a girl was because when in like the first CG art pictures of Dante, like in the intro, it looked like Dante had a chest. That was my thing. In the very first like CG art that we get in like the introduction to the game, the story, it looked like Dante had a chest. So that's why I was like, oh, is Dante a girl? Like I was like, is this a girl? Like I was like a little bit confused until like I found out that's kind of like we don't know. Like we don't know which one we're like. We don't know if Dante is like a guy or a girl, but we're mostly assuming Dante is a guy. But no, not the one on the chair. Like it's the story. Oh, I think okay, Iserfil, thank you for knowing what I'm talking about. It's like let me see if I can grab it actually. Hold up. I'll grab it for you guys. Let me see if I can grab it. Ah, yes. I found it. Okay. Save image as all files. Let me see if I can grab it for you guys. Okay, I'm gonna show it, okay, guys? It was this one. I low-key thought that Dante was a girl because of this. I thought, cause like, it looks like Dante has a chest here. So this was like basically one of the first CG arts. Yeah, the shadows. I think it's because I also, like, I'm an artist. So when I first saw this, and I saw like how the shadows were placed and like how there's like a little like round bump, like I was like, oh, like Dante has a chest. Like, is Dante girl? Dante girl? The thing is that like after this, I was kind of like, I thought Dante was a girl, but the more time passed by and the more CG art I saw of Dante and like, you know, Dante's like in-game character, I was like, oh, like I immediately, I kind of was like it went from like Dante's like, I think Dante's a girl to like, I think Dante's a guy. But I don't know. We'll never know. Like, I don't think they ever confirmed it, did they? I don't know if they ever confirmed it, but like this was like my first impression. And then after some time passed by and seeing more CG art of Dante, I was like, oh, like I think my opinion has changed, and I assume like Dante is a guy. And I think a lot of people do consider, I think a lot of people think that he is also a guy. So I just go by like, I just say Dante him / he. I could be wrong. We don't know. I don't know if they confirmed anything about it, but yeah. I low-key thought Dante was a girl. It is also being pushed up by wind. Oh, that could be true. That could be true. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's just like, I thought it was, it could be a lot of things. It could be. But yeah, I think a lot of people lean towards the guy. And I also start leaning towards Dante being a guy right now as well. Imagine Dante is secretly a woman. That would be very interesting. Has Bun hydrated? I did not. I'm sorry. I'll hydrate right now. I was busy yapping. It's fun yapping to you guys. Okay. Gosh. Now we continue. So listen, people yap passionately. Aw. Thank you. I like it when people yap passionately, because that's how much fun they're having. This is the Warp Express. Yes. It is the Warp Express. Hideous creatures suddenly crashed through the open door and charged wildly in our direction. It's still a day/dem manager. Ah. Yeah, I think it's like weird because halfway through I would like say I would go by like day/dem. And then now I'm kind of leaning more towards of like he/him. Just me assuming, which is not, I don't know. Like I know a lot of the community also thinks that way though. Did anyone die? No, not yet. Not yet. We're still at the start. Oh my god. Man, I don't know. You guys are scaring me. Should I be concerned when any of the bosses here? Like, are some of the bosses in this interlude scary? I feel like generally it hasn't been big of a problem so far when it comes to the interlude bosses, except for the my bones yield to the flesh or something. I forgot the name. Legit no? Okay, okay. No, this one has crazy bosses. Thank God, guys. Low-key, guys, we needed a break from crazy bosses, especially after Kanto 6, okay? I'm not gonna lie, guys. The boss rush in Kanto 6 definitely was nice. But oh my god, it really drained me. It really did drain me. Also, thank you for the follow, Cat Miru. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Awooga, wooga, 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 awooga. Awooga, wooga. There's your awooga redeemed. Welcome to hell. It's okay, we're all in hell together, guys. Let's go. Listen, Nelly. Oh my god. Okay. So, like, I remember when I first went against Nelly, I was scared until I wasn't scared. And then I went against Heathcliff. And Heathcliff was pretty scary. I think all the times I versed against Heathcliff was scary. Lady False, however similar in appearance they may have been to the passengers. Verily, 'tis as though they were in incomplete want of sense. Like people politified by the whale. Don Quixote hesitated until the last second to raise her weapon against them. She hung her head mournfully. Normally, False would have told her more information about those monsters before the fight began, and she would not have been burdened by the sheer thought of bringing harm to the innocent. False began searching the area, closely observing various bodies in the general area for information. You appear particularly inquisitive today, Miss False. Huh, yeah, aren't you usually the one who has all the answers while we're racking our brains trying to come up with something? The Sinners were starting to feel that there's something off about False's behavior. They might even soon realize that there's something wrong with False. Don Quixote? They are not dead. Huh? Observe closer. The parts are all tethered to one another by something, are they not? Oh-ho! It appears that the flow of time has ceased into space. Therefore, it allows that the connections that tether bodies to life and away from death remain intact. To my relief, False managed to correctly figure out what's going on like her usual self, even if it took her slightly longer than it usually does. Damn, Apollo got bitten by cat. Getting more and more active. Always stay active, cat. Always stay active. I don't know if you don't mind. Do you want me to call you cat? Cat? Miru? Miru cat? Can I call you cat? I was scared I would lose against Heathcliff and have to do the whole thing all over again. That fight was so— oh my god. I felt the exact same way. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I don't like it. I don't like redoing battles and bosses. I ain't gonna lie. Which is why whenever I do one, I do pray and hope that I can do it in one go. I don't know. I feel like it's like, oh, it's like, it feels not tedious, but it's like, oh my god, I have to go through that entire process again. Like, who knows how the process is gonna go, you know? Kanto 7 is gonna be peak. I am excited for Kanto 7. I'm excited. Especially because it's Dawn's chapter. Hard mode for intervalos. Ooh. I'm worried for the hard mode. Hey, what did I say? We got this. Oh, what was that about? Oh, nothing? But I've forgotten that not all sinners were content with nodding along to whatever information Faust told us. The flow of time has ceased aboard a warp train, is it? Yising grew pensive, seeing that Faust's lips parted for a moment before closing shut. I was starting to get a good read of her expressions. That was an unmistakable look of regret, however short-lived. How big would it not be more accurate to muse that the flow of time has decelerated to the point where to an extra-dimensional observer it has slowed to a stop? What is your perspective regarding this suggestion? Yes, that is a most rational suggestion, Yising. Did Miss Faust just get something wrong? Well, wow, Yising sure is a time expert, right? Can you summarize it in easier language now that we're talking about it anyway? Gladly if you would allow me. Yising began to elaborate with gentle enthusiasm. That was close. To speak in brevity, it can be said that death is not an element aboard this train. And can you maybe speak in a little less brevity? To elaborate, verily, this one's heart still beats still. Don Quixote lowers her head and listens closely to what appeared to be a dismembered torso and shouts with relief. Their state is akin to an unassembled jigsaw puzzle, merely immobilized and separated. Though their corpus has been sundered, the concept of death is at a state of, for all intents and purposes, eternal delay aboard this train, existence and continuance of moratorium. Forced they are to be tethered upon the thinnest yet tenacious thread of life. I ill understood what has been said here, yet they are not dead all the same, If their severe parts are all connected, then it can be said that no matter how entangled their bodies become, it is not impossible to eventually gather their parts together to form a single passenger. Thus, naturally, we can determine how and why the profession W Corp cleanup agent has come to be. I see. Because someone will have to categorize and reconstruct these puzzles once the journey is over. It's really baffling to me that a job like that even exists. Ever seen a wing that wasn't baffling in every sense of that word? Still, I guess that means that as long as the train arrives at the station, they'll all be put back together like nothing happened. From what I learned through the W Corp identities, their main job was to gather chunks of flesh together to bring them back to their original shapes before they boarded the trains. It's a lot more visceral when I have to look at it in person. Phew, that is quite the auspicious news amongst ill tidings indeed. It soon clicked in me what Faust was, so was with some awkward effort, trying to do as I watched Don Quixote sigh with relief. Maybe Faust was trying to cheer Don Quixote up in her own way. The other Faust would not find it even necessary to do something like that. Dante. Oh, what's up? Oh, time to whisper, right? Indeed, I intend to collect further intelligence. Well, if there's anything I can tell you... Faust cast a dark gaze at Thor's chunk of flesh. Her gaze remained fixed upon them as she whispered. Are they distortions or abnormalities? Oh. Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about that. They weren't humans, that's for sure. From them, I felt the same sensation I felt from monsters. Something inexplicable, an unclear sensation or an aura. I've never felt this somewhere before, I'm sure of it. Oh, I felt this somewhere before, I'm sure of it. But I couldn't quite pinpoint the sort of the sensation. One thing I do know for sure is that this sensation was not the same feeling I got from abnormalities, distortions, or even the Picatula. If I had to lean one way or another, I'd say they're closer to distortions. I'm sorry, I don't think they're either of those. Is it difficult to be certain at the moment? Again, I'm not sure how I can explain this, but they're very, very similar to distortions, but also different. If you had to ask, then I'm gonna guess Faust doesn't know. Faust may know, but I at this moment have no way of knowing. I feel like I should apologize for that. There's no need, Dante. Though the information you have provided me is rather ambiguous, it has helped me deduce something of worth. And collecting intelligence myself and creating deductions based on sparse information is quite... She paused, holding a bloody, slimy chunk of flesh in her hands. Did she just smelt herself with gore in her hands? Oh, finally the awakening has begun. I don't know for cleaning.
당연한 결과죠. 저는
Oh.
선택받았으니까. 그렇겠죠?
I like how you guys talking about boss, the mirror dungeon. I love the new mirror dungeon right now. That's all I have to say. Not gonna lie, I don't know if I really know what I'm doing correctly in the mirror dungeon. I'm just doing like, I feel like the bare minimum. Like I just choose one team. I choose the bleed team. I choose the bleed stuff. And then I just call it a day. After a round of intelligence gathering from Faust, we opened the door to the next cabin only to be greeted by a loud commotion. It sounds like there are other survivors. Passengers in danger. Worry not, for I have arrived to... Whoa, don't come any closer. Who the hell are you guys? A four-armed woman suddenly jumped in our path. She appeared without warning. Faust stumbled a little, inadvertently slapped by the figure's swinging arms as she pushed us away. Right, like you gave me any warning before you practically kicked that door open. Would you mind moving that huge sword out of our faces? It's a bit threatening. Threatening? I'm just trying to protect those civilians in this car. Also, is that a bioprosthetic? Must be an old-timer, huh? I thought those things went out of style forever ago. Oh, you want to see what this old-timer's got left in him? Uh-huh. Thou art from North Verily? Thy garb is that of Northerners, no? This really ain't the time, lass. Anyway, it looks like we're in the same mess here. Make way for us, yeah? She seems to be sizing us up for a moment. Nah, how do I trust you? Got any proof that you ain't bitten? I ain't gonna let all my effort protecting this place go to waste. Bitten? The bloody hell are you talking about? Weird. You look completely lost. If you were in one of the economy cars, I'm sure you've seen... Hold on. Are y'all from the first class car? Yeah, we just woke up from our capsules. But none of you look very... I mean, aren't first class seats supposed to be... Well, why don't you say so from the get-go? Name's Sasha, multi-crack office rep. With that, she lowered her weapons and allowed us to pass. Have you not left this car for the duration of the ride, Sasha? No, I haven't. We warped over to T-Corp after picking up one of the contracts, but... Jeez, can you believe that this train broke down? Shit, is it even broken? I'm not feeling hungry or sleepy at all. It stinks of some shady bullshit if you ask me. You can feel all that even in a prosthetic body? Man, how could I live without my favorite hobby, drifting into a sweet nap after a pleasant meal? So I made sure to get high quality parts for him so I can still feel hungry and sleepy. Hasn't something else of note also occurred? You bet your ass did something else of note go down? How distracting. Is it hard for you to speak without being so hyper? Or at least stop swinging your arms around like that. Can't do that, friend. I broke all my prosthetic arms in a fight, so I'm calibrating a new set. Gotta keep swinging them if I want to sync up with the other parts anytime soon. Anywho, I don't know what the hell's going on, but people started turning into some weird monsters all of a sudden. Having a goddamn clue as to who they are. Doesn't seem like they can understand this either. Good thing my train car didn't have a lot of those monsters. I just chopped what monsters there were to pieces and hauled the civilians to this vacant car. Oh, there. 3201 red colors, 3202 red colors. You have decided to protect them despite the potential risk that they may transform as well. But of course, 'tis expected duty of any valorous fixer to stand guard in front lines against evil to protect the weak. I've been keeping a close eye on them for the last 3 days, and so far 0 transformations. Go past this car and you'll see what hell on earth really means. Those monsters are constantly trying to claw their way to the front of the train. So if you ask me, I'd wager that some shit went down there at one of the train cars in the back, and it spread like wildfire till it reached here. I see. And that's all I can tell you about the situation. So, what's your story? Why'd you rich first-class folks suddenly decide to grace us peasants with your presence? Nothing that's happening here could have made it to your swanky first-class car, so what's your business down here? W Corp has hired us to solve this case. We are, fixers. Indeed. Fixers. Falls nodded reluctantly as she affirmed Don Quixote's boisterous declaration. Huh. They got every single one of you a first-class ticket? Your office must be rolling in the dough. Wait a goddamn second. So W Corp already knew that this would happen? But, are you really contracted to a wing? Not sure if I trust ya. As you must be well aware yourself, contracts and contract fulfillment are of paramount importance for fixers. With that in mind, please recall that W Corp is one of the most secretive wings of the city. Ah, non-disclosure agreement, huh? Makes sense. I wouldn't want to deal with those oafy boys either. Anyway, I'm still gonna have to ask for proof that you're actually contracted by W Corp. This is the master keycard given to us by W Corp. I believe that it can open most doors aboard this train. Falls produced a master keycard from her pocket. I guess there isn't any other way for us to prove that we're actually contracted by W Corp. A keycard? So you used this to open the path between the first class and the economy class car. Let's see. W Corp logo. Whoa, nice materials. Looks like you're telling the truth. Alright, I won't pry. It's not like there's any cash in it for me either. So I guess you gotta go all the way down there for your job, huh? Yes. The fixer finally got out of her way. Then with one of her free hands pointed towards the opposite door. Well, it's your funeral, ladies and gents. Or your victory lap. You guys are really that good. Lots of luck to y'all. I thank thee thy words of courage, Fixer Sasha. I shall trust thee with protection of this fortress. Prithee, protect the innocents in my stead. Big sis, are you a fixer? Are you going to save us from the monsters in the cars behind us? Oh? Just as we were about to reach the other end of the car, a little passenger pulled on Don Quixote's coattails. I forsooth. Whoa, are you a famous fixer? Forsooth, once again, thou mayest know me as a profoundly illustrious fixer. Whoa, I want to be a fixer too, just like... Don't pester the lady. I'm sorry, she's my daughter, Anne. The worry's not thyself. 'Tis no bother at all. Thou must dream of becoming a fixer thyself, little squire. It is fortunate that someone like yourself is aboard the train. Your presence ensured that child's survival. What you talking about all of a sudden? Come on, no need to keep up appearances between people in the same line of work. I'm just here to collect some sweet, sweet emergency contract fees from each and every one of them. Are you two onto something or what? I see. I don't think Don Quixote needs to hear what she just said. Didn't know you could be like that, False. Be like, what? You knew that no way the fixer was actually there to protect him out of pure goodwill, but you decided to go along with Don Quixote's delusions anyway. Am I right? Good move. I was getting worried about what might happen if she started acting out again. You saw the twinkle in her eyes too, right? Don Quixote's always been energetic, but she's been especially bouncy today. Eyes. False strode towards Sasha with a question. I have one last thing to inquire. It'll be 30k on per inquiry. That is quite an unsound decision to make for someone who claims to be in the same line of work as us. Have you considered the possibility that, once our contract is successfully completed, we could include references to a particularly cooperative associate office in a report to W Corp? Whoa, you serious? Well then, let me hear it. Were the eyes of the monsters you face red, by any chance? Sasha paused her swinging arms for a moment upon hearing that question, appearing to either be in thought or trying to recall something, then answered. I don't know. Those monsters were red all over, but is there something so special about their eye color? Well, for one, my prosthetic eye is red. That passenger over there's got red eyes, and... Oh, you there. That lady with the big swords also got red eyes. What, is someone out there paying cash for info on red eyes or something? No, well, it was a question of no significance. Boss nodded lightly in her direction, then opened the door next to the next car. Oh. It was just as we had feared. The scene that appeared before us looked like it came straight out of a painting of hell. Well, that did not look okay, guys. That looks kind of doomed, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. A little bit doomed. But surely it will be fine. Surely. It was cute. I'm happy you guys caught on to that. False Dawn interaction was really cute. I kinda like this False. I don't know, guys. I kinda like when False is not constantly like, you know, stoic and stuff. We're kind of like seeing a different side of her, and I like it. I do like it a lot. Yes. I love. You know, I actually used to be very like neutral with False. I kind of had no opinion on False. That's what it is. Like, it's like I don't dislike her, but she wasn't also like super like, oh, I like False a lot kind of moment, you know? But honestly, I kind of like this side of her. Like, it's like my opinion, like my thoughts on her are increasing to a positive note. It's like, ah, that's kind of nice to see. Kind of nice to see emotional, not emotional, but like somewhat emotion False. God, I love blood teams. I like how we're calling it disconnecting. False has disconnected. The disconnected False is pretty nice though. It really is. I hope we get to see more of it. More of disconnected False. Oh, no story? Oh. I thought we were gonna have some story here.
불로 정화하고 깨끗한 세계를 세우라.
More fighting.
다치시지 않게 싸우셨으면 좋겠어요. 좋아. 저 사람들 좀 지친 것 같아요.
Okay, no issues whatsoever. I mean, Rodion's getting kind of... That's okay. She's fine. It's okay. Oh yeah, we're fine. We're so fine. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. No, yeah, we're fine.
관리자님, 역시 저는 생각하지 못하는 방법을 떠올리시는군요. 이 공격은 꽤 먹혀든 것 같아요. 조금씩
Oh god.
끝이 보이네요.
That's a lot of enemies. 11. So we have like 9 more enemies to kill. I'm more curious as to why a lot of people like this interlude. I'm very, very curious. Because it seems like a lot of you guys seem to really like this interlude story. So I'm excited to see why.
저희가 이길 것 같아요. 불길 속으로. 그 오물을
Holy shit. Better than fighting 30 mermaids in Mirror. Oh, you're so right. We don't talk about those 30 mermaids, guys. I've seen people deal with it, and let me tell you, I'm like, wow. I am so sorry you guys have to deal with that. That is hilarious. Oh man, 30 mermaids. I myself haven't encountered that yet, but I remember on my timeline, somebody talked about it, and I got curious and I searched it up, and that's actually kind of sad. Holy shit, 30 mermaids. That's crazy. You have my condolences. Battling in a narrow highway really takes a lot out of you. Too bad making big movements when there's not a lot of room to move around and takes more energy than you might think, especially for people like us who use longer weapons. These enemies were much harder than the ones we fought earlier, but it was inevitable that their sheer number would eventually wear down the sinners. What are these things, Faust? Yeah, I've been wondering that too. Why are you so tight-lipped all of a sudden? Those entities are... What do you think those entities are? Huh? Didn't I just ask you the same question? Oh no, are you giving us a chance to come up with our own answers first? Aw, Sinclair. Of course, Faust did not confirm or deny his question, but Sinclair was perfectly capable of interpreting her silence in his own fashion. There were some things I learned after fighting them, I think. These monsters aren't mad at us, nor do they want to attack us because we're an obstacle. That's not why they're attacking us. Quite. 'Tis apparent that they hunger for odd, charging at anyone at anything in desperate quest of it. Right. That's strange, though. I thought hunger or thirst wasn't a thing aboard these trains. It could be determined from the entity's attack patterns that they're offensive or not based on rational thought. The source of this behavior can only be traced back to primal aggressiveness. Yes, and was there anything else? Anything else? Oh yeah, I think they all had red eyes. Their bodies wreathed in blankets of red. I smell blood, so that's likely what they're made of. Then it must be that the red was congealed, nay, crystallized blood. Thank you all. Your input has been very helpful. It was my turn to start whispering. What did you learn from that, boss? We are in luck, Dante. I have read upon this subject as a tangent while pursuing information regarding our next destination, moments before we boarded the train, and while that will be all useful element in resolving the situation, the Cerners have also been a very good source of intelligence when it came to categorizing and identifying important evidence from the available sea of information. Your advice was correct, Dante. You mean you know what to do to blow this case wide open? Nothing can be said with absolute certainty at the moment. However, this will be a good place for us to start. With that, Faust turned around and faced the rest of the sinners. I will now present before you a solution to this predicament. Huh? Is there something else we gotta do other than beating the crap out of whatever's in our way? That will not change, no. However, what I'm about to share will give you a better understanding of the purpose behind W Corp's contract and provide us with the possible means of finding a method by which we may complete it. It is very likely that the entity behind the incidents on this train, and by extension every incident of the same nature that has occurred in previous warp train trips, is a blood fiend. Huh? Blood fiend? The heck is that? Hey, Otoko Panda! Thank you! Make sure to have a good night and stay hydrated. Drink some water before you sleep, okay? Everybody's so cute. Sinclair especially was so cute, guys. Sinclair immediately was like on a positive note, like, oh my god, she's giving us the chance to be smart. That's so cute.
Carnival time.
Wait, a blood fiend? What's a blood fiend? A blood fiend? What in the name of wings is that? Huh, you of all people haven't heard of blood fiends. Thought you were our team expert on obscure lore. Verily, I have not once heard mention of these blood fiends. Perchance I have let a magazine article slip from my memory? Don Quixote furrowed her brows, genuinely lost. It was as though the very words sounded alien to her. I thought they were just monsters in stories to scare children at night. They're supposed to be afraid of garlic and sunlight, right? Vampires? Oh, that sounds a bit different from what I've heard. I heard their fear of garlic and sunlight is just a rumor, and what they're really afraid of is water. I have been briefed on the existence of blood fiends in the past when I served as a commanding officer, and I have seen the dregs that they command. Though my memory isn't very clear, I am quite certain that these monsters here do not resemble what I've seen. I've seen one who called themselves a blood fiend among the rings of the fingers, but the things that blood fiend commanded weren't like these rubber textured ones. There's something off about this one. That one didn't spawn these dregs with abandon like this. But aren't you supposed to notice already? Yes, I see that some sinners have encountered blood fiends in the past. A long-winded explanation seems unnecessary. As many of you have stated thus far, the entities we faced in this train do not appear to be blood fiends. In a sense, they are drag-like beings that have failed to become kindreds. They are referred to as blood bags among relevant parties according to information I am aware of. Not a terrible name. Why would anybody name someone blood bags? As it has been said prior, it is impossible for passengers to disappear about warp trains under normal circumstances. So, our reserve of intelligence regarding warp trains, or W Corp, is vast. If incomplete, we cannot find a possible exception to the above rule. Within that reserve of intelligence, however, I have discovered that inserting a previously unseen variable into the equation allows for the formulation of a new hypothesis. Wait, so you're saying that these blood fiends can completely erase people or passengers from existence? A more accurate descriptor would be to say that they are either dissolved or vaporized. Dissolved. No matter the degree of violence the passengers may indulge in, no matter how severe their wounds may be, the warp trains can revert them to their initial states at the beginning of the journey. Among several interpretations of the word violence involves cannibalization, of course. Oh. Not cannibalism. Dun dun dun. However, as the passengers' collective time itself is in a moratorium, for the duration of the train's operation, digestion is not a biological process that should be active. In other words, even the devoured passengers could be reconstructed. If they are merely stuffed into the digestive tract, then I suppose that they could gut the passengers to retrieve the chewed up chunks of other passengers and piece them back together via the vein-like things connecting each individual. That is not fun to imagine. That sounds awful. However, such is not true for blood bags. Blood bags are, by their nature, obsessed with blood. Their existence hinges on supplying themselves with the blood of their victims. And it is said that they must consume a minuscule amount of blood to maintain their forms. Wait, what? Didn't you just say that digestion is not a thing while we're on the train? If I were to continue by deductions, perhaps consumption of blood for blood fiends and blood bags is a fundamentally different process from our consumption of nutrients for energy. To them, blood is a culmination of an entailment of something that forms the self, including but not limited to emotions, ambitions, wealth, purposes of existence. Then it must naturally flow that they can spend their blood at will, which is a process isolated from other biological processes such as digestion. I ain't following even half of that. You exist in moratoria of time at the present moment, Heathcliff, yet your emotions still persist. Do they not? Anger, sorrow, and joy, they continue to spark within you. Well, I suppose they are. Though we cannot tell whether they may be in a state of alteration or whether they remain ensnared in the wheel of creation and destruction, it can be said that emotions once past exist not in continuation. The passenger's will to live, the worth of this very existence in which they thrive, do they not all gentle atrophy into non-existence even amidst a ceased time? Miss Fall seeks to illustrate the similarity between how emotions are to ourselves and how blood is to blood fiends. Gotcha. Well, that's why she said their blood is vaporized, huh? If that's the case, then the very blood that's supposed to bind these chunks of flesh together will also evaporate, which means that they can't be pieced back together. There's no incongruence in that logic. Everyone fell silent for a moment. That was way too much information to process at once. We didn't even know what to make of them either. I would like to ask a few questions if you would permit me. Yiseng was the first to break the silence. Could it be said that bloodbags are direct creations of blood fiends? If such is the case, then by which method do they... That information is inaccessible at the moment. Foster replies, avoiding Yiseng's gaze. There isn't anything I can do about this. The sinners will only get more stressed if they find out what's going on with Faust, and that's something we both want to avoid. Inaccessible. Indeed. Now recall what you have said in the past. This is only speculation, however. I assume that a form of direct physical contact is needed to turn an individual into a blood bag. Ah. If such were not the case, then we, who are likely the greatest obstacles to this entity's goal at the moment, would have been the first ones to be turned. Indeed. In that case, that villain of a blood fiend must be hiding out somewhere aboard this train. Indeed, if we are to believe that the words of the fixer from earlier, then there is a high likelihood that the horde is advancing in this direction from the back of the train. In other words, continuing down the train cars will lead us straight to the blood fiend. Very well, I shan't forsake this opportunity to bring peace to the souls of the innocent passengers who have perished by the villain's hands. Dante? It seemed that Don Quixote was now invigorated. The other sinners also seemed satisfied now that we had a clear sight of our goal. Faust, who stood amidst them, nodded in my direction. Well then, let's go. We're making the best of what's available to us at the moment. Let's move forward, for now. Faust is trying her best. She's trying. She's really trying. I'm gonna hydrate real quick. I should now rest my voice just a little bit during this fight.
엄청난 공격이었어요. 어떻게 저렇게 강하실 수 있죠? 관리자님, 역시 저는 생각하지 못한 방법을 떠올리시는군요. 저희가 이길 것 같아요. 죄인인가? 그 오물을 떼어내주지. 이 공격은 꽤 먹혀든 것 같아요.
그러자면 저거 맞추기 쉽.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
그쪽도 죄인인가?
추잡하네. 한 줄 긋지.
가까워진다.
추잡하네.
허리 끝.
기원을 갖춘 그대로 무너져.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
그쪽도 죄인인가?
추잡하네.
기원을 갖춘 그대로 무너져라.
Ah, yes. I remember when I first the time killing guy, the boss in the time killing time interlude. Like half of my characters died from bleed in their turn. I was like, shit. That was tragic to watch.
당연한 결과죠. 저는 선택받았으니.
More Gregor, more Gregor. Yeah, okay.
불로 정화하고 깨끗한 세계를 세우라. 여러분에게
불길
도움이
속으로
되었으면 좋겠습니다. 그 오물을 떼어내주지. 이 공격은 꽤 먹혀든 것 같아요. 저 사람들 좀 지친 것 같아요.
From using his skill? That's a high number. Jesus.
관리자님, 역시 저는 생각하지 못하는 방법을 떠올리시는군요. 좋아. 저희가 이길 것 같아요.
Oh, are you gonna aim for the new Dawn identity cat?
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
떨거지는 잘라낸다.
You have 350 shards ready already? Damn. You're ready. Are you do you have all of the blood fiends?
유언을 갖지
Are you gonna do the whole full blood fiend team? Here for the collab or roll for Dawn? Ice refill? It's up to you, but I'm hella rolling for Dawn.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
Yes? Ooh. That's like what I want to do. I did not roll for Priest Gregor. I regret not rolling for him. So I think I might need to shard Priest Gregor so I can have the full Blood Fiend team. He looks so good. Dawn looks so good. I need it. I need it.
유언을 갖지 그대로 무너져라. 이걸로 제가 받군.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
떨거지는 잘라낸다. 유언을 갖지 그대로 무너져라.
Oh my god, I really want Ring Yiseng too. I want Ring Yiseng. I do also want Double Pistol Yiseng, not gonna lie, but I also want the Walpurgis Knight Sinclair too. God, there's so much stuff I want. I think so I can use Mikarla. Is it also for like the because I remember like Dawn also gets a new set of skills if like she's paired up with all of the Blood Fiends, right? I didn't look into that, so I don't know what the changed version is, but is it like good? Manager Esquire, help! Behold this poor fellow, he still lives! Don Quixote, her round eyes wide open, began sprinting somewhere. No! Stay away from me, you monsters! Hey man, we're not those monsters. You alright? Huh? That arm. You're starting to mutate too, aren't you? You must be turning into some bug-like monster. Rip Gregor. What? No, this is... Gregor stumbled for words before chuckling and casting his gaze towards the floor in disbelief. Yeah, well, no surprise there, I guess. I suppose there's no way to tell right away whether this arm's a monster, or prosthetic, or whatnot. It is possible that you're mistaken due to his bioprosthetic being of an older, outdated make that is now rarely seen in the city. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my god. Prosthetic. That's a relief. I thought those crazy bastards were trying to break in again. As you can see, my legs are messed up. I had no choice but to hide in here. So what are the W Corp employees doing aboard this train? Oh, you're right. From what we found out about the warp trains through the identities, I can't imagine why any of them would ever willingly board this train. You're the contract fixers, right? We were ordered to assist you with your contract. I said we, but I'm the only one left. Every single one of my colleagues suddenly began losing their minds in that car over there, and this cannot be. False, is there truly no way to cure the blood bags? My apologies. The access to that information is prohibited at this moment as well. Though her voice and expression were both as serene as always, there was something gloomy about the way she said it. I may have been too reliant on Faust in too many places. Faust muttered in a barely audible volume. I don't know what I can do to help the sinners in a situation like this either. I'd also grown too used to Faust's omniscience, because I could always trust it to be there for me. I was starting to realize that I don't have the means to dig myself out of a hole like this. No, maybe I was too reliant on the sinners as a whole. If when the time comes for them to depend on me, when they can no longer stand on their own, can I really manage them? Lead them to the right answers? Doubt, colored with fear, begins to rise like an ominous plume of smoke. Well, what can I do, right? The agent struggled to some corner of the room with his wounded leg and pulled on a lever. They made a good use of this space. And the wall behind what had initially appeared to be a folding chair for employees spun open. What in the name of wings is this? Perchance thou hast hidden there a weapon most powerful? A weapon most feared by the blood fiends? That holds some resemblance to a capsule we saw in the first class car, but why would that thing be here? The cleanup agent slumped into the pot that appeared into the wall. Phew, finally. What is that thou seekest to do? W Corp prepared a small hibernation pod for employees in case of these emergencies. Verily, then good luck with the rest of the mission. With that, he settled into the capsule and shut the hatch behind him. When the door covering the pod closed, only the folding chair and the wall covered with viscera remained. He's gone. There he goes. He has departed the scene. We blankly stared at the wall the agent disappeared into. He hella just ditched us, guys. That's crazy. He was like, yeah, I'm out. Bye-bye. Good luck on your own, everybody. And skills give her healing on hit and unbreakable coins. I can do most of it, but that's what I understood. Jesus. That's... Wow, that sounds kind of OP, no? Is it OP or not? It kind of sounds OP to me. Yeah, he hella dipped. He was not into it. And the hand skill needs the La Mancha land ID on the field to access. Oh, I see. So you do... So you have to have the Dawn ID from the past. Huh. Thank you for explaining to me that, guys. We blankly stared at the blah blah. Well then, I guess we gotta... Let's move on to the next car. Keep on keeping on. Oh, it's really bloody.
카니발 그 자체를 대표할 만한 퍼레이드였어.
불로 정화하고 깨끗한 세계를 세우라.
Skill 1 get buff if you have Gregor piece. Oh, is it? It's like each skill, like each different like Blood Fiend member, I'm assuming then?
좋겠어요.
Oh, why is that guy so strong? What? Oh. It's okay. His clip is just better.
관리자님, 역시 저는 생각하지 못한 방법을 떠올리시네요. 이 공격은 꽤 먹혀든 것 같아요.
Damn, Dawn gets a lot of buffs for having all of them. So it's just like, at this point, it's like, yeah, you might as well get all of them together in the same team for Dawn. That's kind of crazy. It's nice, honestly. I do like it. I do like it. I think it's a nice addition, but also it's kind of like a... I'm hoping that she'll still be like really good without needing the buffs too, perhaps. So she's not just limited to like playing with the Blood Fiend IDs. But that's just me. There might be other people that might like it this way. No, that's, you know, that's good for now.
실밥이 터졌나?
The animations, that is also very fair. They really popped off in the animation for the Blood Fiends IDs, which is crazy. Like Ahab and Fishmile. Oh, that's fair. I don't have Captain Fishmile. I heard a lot of good things about Captain Fishmile. They're like, oh, Captain Fishmile is one of like the one of the really good IDs to have. And I was like, shit, I don't have it. More powerful if you have the team. Oh. Is it with what is it? Fishmile, Heathcliff, and Yising. I believe Yising has one of the sets, right?
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
The Picot team. Oh yeah. The Blade lineage. I actually haven't like used a lot of the Blade lineage stuff. No, that's one more. There you go. Dude, Rodion is so all the Blood Fiend IDs are so pretty. They're so well made. For what? For what? They're all so nice, guys. Oh shit, it's okay, I can use a block. I will never shut up about the Blood Fiend IDs. They all look so cool. They all look so good. Especially Rodion especially is so pretty. They went really hard on the effects for hers for sure.
이 공격은 꽤 먹혀든 것 같아요.
Okay, so far no issues whatsoever.
저희가 이길 것 같아요. 불길 속으로.
The cutscenes in Kanto 7. Oh god, I don't know if I should be worried or excited for Kanto 7. I feel like, cause it's always, guys, we can't lie here, guys. It's always the happiest people to have the most one of the devastating moments, you know? Devastating lore. I feel like Don Quixote's lore is gonna be so fucking devastating. I'm so scared. I'm scared it's gonna be like sad or just tragic. I'm not ready. Little lullaby in the main menu to you idle with a card. Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. The more you know. That is true. Everybody is like tragic, but I guess like the reason why it's like I'm just a little bit more worried is because usually Dawn is always like happy, you know? Like Dawn is always the happy one, always like the really bright, like really hyper one. So it's kind of like, I think it'll hit harder if we just, if they make her the opposite, you know? Oh boy.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
Oh god, okay. Cat. Cat. Ice refill cat. Tell me. Should I be worried? Should I be scared? Do you think I'm gonna cry? Oh no. Wait a minute. It's fine. Do your thing, Sinclair. Whatever. It's fine. You're 100. No. Okay. Oh god, it's tragic.
당연한 결과죠. 저는 선택받았으니까.
It's over for me.
그렇겠죠?
I'm gonna have tissues ready when I know it, like the ending is coming soon for that for specifically that chapter. Just in case. You never know, you never know.
카니발 타임.
사랑해 Bun Rose? That's the only Korean I know. Wow, thank you!
다치시지 않게 싸우셨어요.
I 사랑해 everybody. I rewatched a few things from Count 7 recently and cried again. Oh my god, is it that bad? Holy shit. Oh, I'm really scared. Yeah, I'll have tissues ready. I'll have tissues ready towards the end.
역시 저는 생각하지 못하는 방법을 떠올리시는군요. 가능하면 다치시지 않게 싸우셨으면 좋겠어요. 좋아.
기대된다.
A lot of tissue for the ending with Millie song? No, stop.
저 사람들 좀 지친 것 같아요.
Oh.
떼어내주지.
I'm gonna have to emotionally and mentally prepare myself for Council 7 now. Like, even more than I have.
기원의 가치. 그대로 무너져라.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
고귀하게.
그 오물을 떼어내주지.
Council 7 is a roller coaster. Honestly, from how you guys are making it sound like, I have a feeling that it is going to be a very, very, very wild roller coaster. Oh, it's pretty rough shit. Okay, I'll watch out for that. Hopefully before then, I'll maybe upgrade a bit of my characters and stuff so I can be a bit more prepared for it too.
끝이 보이네요.
I'm planning to upgrade my characters a bit before I start Kanto 7. I realized that there's a lot of things I could do, so for sure to upgrade my characters, like thread level 4 and everything, leveling them up a bit. So I'll probably do that on my own time though. I'll probably do it on my own time. Very long with backstory too. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it'll take me a couple streams for sure. Cause I know Kanto 6 took me like what, 3 to 4 streams to finish? So I can only imagine how long this one's gonna take me. Damn, they're ripping them apart.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
떨거지면 잘라낸다.
다 죽어라.
기원의 가치는
Not as bad as the old Kanto 4. Dude, Kanto 4 was so long, guys. that chapter was incredibly long. But honestly worth it. It was really good. It was really good for what it was. Something caught my attention from the corner of my eye after another round of brutal combat. Huh, what's this now? We were on the final car adjacent to the freight car when we discovered the odd box with the T-Corp logo on it. Tis the emblem of T-Corp. It appears that the wall covering it was, in the fierceness of our battle, broken. Didn't that chief executive guy Hubert, right? Didn't he offhandedly mention something about partnering with other wings? I guess they were in cahoots with W Corp too. Such collaborations are not limited to T Corp. It is often the case that a wing may work with another. It is only on rare occasions that they urgently request the assistance of less significant, lesser-known corporations such as our Limbus company. Their choice appears to be quite irregular. Sounds like W Corp heydays are long behind them. Just like this wall that's falling apart, revealing what's behind. Well, speaking of falling apart, this room sure got messed up, huh? It was difficult for me to ignore how Rhodia hurriedly swerved to a different subject as though she'd made a mistake. Even the tone of her voice shifted like she was catching herself. The various destroyed prosthetic parts covered in human remains indicate that this train car was boarded by several prosthetic equipped fixers. I can't think about that right now. Let's deal with the task at hand first. Maybe these people are from the same office as that guy we met at the platform, remember? He said he was warped over to T-Corp on an expedition. Look, it's almost like they're all wearing standardized sets of prosthetics. Same make, same model, everything. I believe I've read articles stating that certain offices do exclusively hire fixers with prosthetics. Wait, We were walking through the bloody train car when we suddenly heard Sinclair's voice crack as though he saw something awful. See, he's the one we encountered at the platform. Is this the fixer who suddenly started venting at us? Yeah, and he said something about going to T-Corp on an expedition and failing. They brought a whole train car full of fixers for this contract? I guess he wasn't exaggerating by calling it an expedition. There are over a dozen broken arms strewn about. They must have fought valiantly by replacing their broken arms with backup arms. Perchance, quite the strategy. Makes sense. That would explain all those broken prosthetic arms and legs in this car. Executive Manager, this is likely an aftermath of a battle between the fixers and the blood bags. There were many similar cases during the war. Those using prosthetics would simply let their bodies be destroyed in battle because they considered them to be disposable as long as their wallets would permit. Of course, the blatant lack of self-preservation often led them to early graves. Maybe that's true. I see. There are multiple possible interpretations depending on one's perspective, despite the fact that there is but a single scene. I'll remember both of your inputs. That's a good attitude. Employees with attitude like yours often made it to the end of the war. Yes, well, good for them. False answers Otis in an uncharacteristically snappy manner. Signs of fatigue were creeping into her pensive expression. You alright, False? It was rare to see any actual expression from her. I was starting to get worried. I am physically unharmed, yet... yes, I'm alright. However, I do not enjoy the circumstance which we find ourselves in. It is as though I am casting nets to nowhere while lost and isolated in a blind sea. I could usually complete these deductions within moments after establishing a few basic cross-references between the accessible information. Her voice was such a whisper for the second part of her sentence that even I could barely hear what she was saying. I know what you mean. Feeling like you're completely lost, obsessively casting net after net over the black, rippleless lake in desperate hopes that one of them might pull in something we could eat. No way to tell where we are. No way to tell if there's even anything to eat under that glassy water surface. Grasping at the straws, you know? The sense I find mired in is not unlike your own. It is like lying my back over an unseen grave, for the reflection of radiance upon my eyes and the sanguine scent hanging from the tip of my olfactory tells me not of the forging path. It seemed that Ishmael and Yising picked up on the first part of her sentence. However, they walked up to her and shared a few words of consolation. By the way, I don't ever recall you talking like that, False. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's something different about you today, somehow. That is... Oh, I mean, I don't hate it. I'm actually got to learn that you had a softer side. This is unseen side of yours. It is unfamiliar, yet quite fresh. Is that so? False's reply was curt. She closed her eyes. As per the information provided by the pamphlet at the platform, it is likely that this train is composed of 12 passenger cars and 1 freight car. Because we are on the 11th car at the moment, that leaves a single car between us and the freight car in which Mephistopheles is secured. Which means... which means that there's a high likelihood that we will soon encounter the blood fiends responsible for the creation of the blood bags aboard this train. Just beyond that door. Well, how impressive could it be if its fodders are this weak? We practically smashed through their entire horde, no problem. A different, more accurate interpretation would be to say that being capable of commanding a force as large as the blood bags we have defeated should be considered a high-risk entity. Blah 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 blah. More conspiracies. Scared False is cute. Scared False really is cute. I'm happy that the sinners are catching on. Like, they're all kind of like, yeah, like, this new side of you. It's cute. It's like, it's okay. Like, it's nice, you know? I feel like it's making False feel a bit more comfortable. Although this is not common knowledge, there is a subcategory of fixers called Blood Fiend Hunters who specialize in, yes, hunting Blood Fiends. Assuming that information is true, it can be inferred that Blood Fiends are difficult foes that require certain expertise to defeat. Now that I'm thinking about it, if blood bags are like mindless thralls to Blood Fiends, then they're the kind of like their private army, right? A being of power who can create a force of their own without concern for lowered morale or desertion. Wartime or not, they will always make for formidable foes. The sinners each exchange various opinions with one another, possibly strategies, estimations of the Blood Fiend's strength, and all of a sudden, beyond this indecisive idleness, our quest is to defeat the villain who hath brought such pain and misery upon this train, is it not? It may be vaporizing the lifeblood of the innocent as we speak. Mighty or feeble, I care not. I swear upon mine honor that I shall smite this foe and let my hand of justice be the judge of their fate. Let us hasten now. Don Quixote's sudden outburst immediately put a stop to the chatter. She's not wrong. Besides, we have to deal with the Blood Fiend to complete our contract. With that, I opened the door leading to the final car of this train. Dawn is ready to go. Dawn is very active. The one who lords. We're locked in, everybody. We're locked in. This room. What is with the look on thy faces? Thou standest in the audience of the prince. Where are thy obsequious smiles? He must be the Blood Fiend who caused this outbreak. He is our target. Fall to thy knees and grovel before royalty. Who the hell are you to make those demands? I shall impart this upon thee only once, so listen well. Thou mayest address me as Prince Cassetti, the 6th kindred, or kindred of the 6th generation, the rightful prince and refuge from this family. Art thou the villain who hath brought such destruction and massacre upon this No, he speaks like Don Quixote. He speaks like Don. Oh my god. Thou art a chatty one, so rudely before your prince, yet I am feeling generous, for I am quite sated. I did not finish reading that, oh my god. As thou must have seen on thy journey here, this place is a hall of banquet for a feast most majestic. No matter how many blood bags I create, no matter how much I devour them, the humans just won't stop coming. I only enjoy what was cast into my maw. He dons a mask for the purpose of merrymaking. If you're really going to exchange pleasantries, why don't you take that mask off? Or are you unfamiliar with basic etiquette? Oh, this mask. Won't come off. Can't take it off. Shouldn't take it off. There's no prince without the mask. We're so ugly behind the mask, so we all decided how repulsive we've become. But once I've drunk your blood full, then it'll go back to how it used to be. Only then can I unmask myself. Who stitched that mask to your face skin? Not a half bad job. Of course it's excellent, haha, because this mask was crafted by none other than the great and the eminent barber, whose name I dare not even speak. But it hurts so much. No, I'm smiling. Look how hard I'm smiling and laughing. Ha 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 ha. Yes, I am the prince. That's what I am. He's a bloody loon, innit? Alright, done with the giggles then. Get ready for the beating of your life. I enjoy things like you and your friends. Don't cry, bawling and bowing and sniveling on the ground for your life. lunge at me instead. From the aggression to your boiling blood. Oh, how I love the fire. What are you, daft? Look around. There are 13 of us and only one of you. Do not let your guard down, Heathcliff. This entity has managed to turn countless passengers of this train into its blood bags. I ain't letting my guard down, but we blasted through so many blood bags we couldn't even keep count, didn't we? Couldn't even keep count? Oh, no, but this count is so important. I have to keep count of our visitors, yes. Of course, I do remember to keep count of our dearest visitors. Yes, sir, I do. You have no idea how powerful I am, and I shall not relinquish my throne to thief from this budding kingdom. All I have to do is sit here and do nothing, and the bloodbags present themselves before me. There's no paradise like this out there, and you have no idea what I did to create this place. Oh, how elated my forebear kindreds would be, should they be here to witness what I've created, this cornucopia of abundance, this pleasure, oh, this freedom. But this kingdom is mine. I made it, and I'm not giving it away. Nope. This is rather curious. It appears that this blood fiend leaves this car only on rare occasions. Yet we have seen signs of his insidious influence throughout every car we have visited so far. Then what he meant by how the bloodbags present themselves before him has to be... Hold on a minute! A figure suddenly and frantically charged into his car. It was Sasha, the fixer we ran into one of the earlier cars. Cassetti shrinks into his throne at the sudden burst, terror apparent in his face. Ah, deceived! By the hast thou truly journeyed here to assist us in our quest? Lord, that villain is the blood fiend responsible for the tragedies that have transpired aboard this train. Help us slay that cur and eventually lead the passengers thou hast protected thus far out this train. Blood fiends. What if there was more than a single blood fiend on board? One so capable of rational thought. Damn, you actually made it all the way back here. I guess the wings don't give out contracts to just anyone. I used to fight to my damnness too, till I was the last one standing. What you talking about? But where did that leave me? In the end, I stood alone with nothing but a single one of these 4 arms left. Kind of funny how the perspective on life can just completely flip when you're really, really into shit. I think my last thoughts were, man, I don't want to die. So I fell on my knees and pleaded. I told him that, Don Quixote, watch out! Oh. I'd do anything to live. Blood rapidly crystallized around Sasha like a suit of armor as she swung her greatsword at the sinners, striking them even before Farth's finished her sentence. What did I say? I commanded you to give me a warning before jumping in like that. Don't you know how large your stupid arms are? I thought the family had come for me. I'm sorry, Lord Cassetti. Oh. Allow me to introduce my kindred to thee, to be the first of many since my escape, for the kingdom I intend to build. My kindred, my loyal squire, who shall be at my side as I build my dynasty of my own. My own family. Lord Cassetti, I intended to select the more powerful to the bunch to send to this car, as you have commanded me, but the humans in my car were all weaklings. So I present before you this group from the first-class car. Kindred. Are you even aware of the exact nature of a kindred? Nah, but I can tell you this. When I accepted my lord's blood into my veins, it was as though I was reborn. I see. A blood fiend's kindred is like a sub-entity of the blood fiend, similar in concept to sub-entities created by distortions or abnormalities. It must have been desperation that drove you to accept that proposition without hesitation, despite the lack of relevant information. Maybe. That's probably what was going through my head before I became a kindred. Thou hast been in cohorts with this villain all this time? As his lackey? Even ere done, when we first laid our eyes upon thee? Lady, you have no idea how much I freaked out when one of you asked me something about red eyes. Not that it would have mattered if you did suspect me though, since my red eye is just a prosthetic. Then, the passengers who were under thy protection. Haven't I told you that the count matters? The longer the line, the better. Dozens of bloodbags began shambling into the room from behind Sasha. A smaller one among them stood out to me. My mind immediately snapped to the child who grabbed Don Quixote's coattails. I knew that the passengers were dead the moment we realized Sasha was a blood fiend. But this... I really, really hoped that I wouldn't have to face this reality. Not like this. There was... a child. Yep, little runt wanted to be a fixer if she got to grow up. Good thing she won't though. I can tell you a good authority that living as a blood bag is way better than the drudgery that is the life of a fixer. Believe me, I know. pulsifile tongue. Dreaming of becoming a famous respected fixer? An enactor of justice? It's all a stupid pipe dream that always ends in crushing disappointment. Or a really, really early grave. Silence. Silence! Don Quixote did not give Sasha time to finish her sentence. She was already charging full speed at her with her lance drawn. This is tragic. Yeah, this is wild. If he's the 6th, that means there's more of him out there. I'm like drinking water. Gotta hydrate.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
Sorry if I'm a little bit quiet. I'm just resting my voice just a little bit before I start yapping again. Hey.
가까워진다. 항의 끝.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
그쪽도 죄인인가?
Thank God I'm not having too much issues. Yeah, it's a good thing that it breaks a lot.
이 공격은 꽤 먹혀든 것 같아요.
Yeah, so far no issues, which is nice.
조금씩 끝이 보이네요.
Ah, that's not good.
나의 고통.
Oh. Everybody's kind of losing. Oh. Okay.
이번에는 공격하시기 힘들 것 같아요.
떨거지는
최대한 눈에
잘라낸다.
안 띄게 해야 할 것 같아요.
That is true. Sinclair, Nutrisan needs to go down a bit more. Why is it so high? Okay, maybe I need to manual this.
저 사람들
Do I need to manual this? I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine.
잘라낸다.
I like to believe that we're doing fine.
실밥이 터졌나?
그 오물을 떼어내주지.
Oh god. At least his sanity went a bit more lower than before.
관리자님, 역시 저는 생각하지 못하는 방법을 떠올리시는군요.
네 피분수.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
고귀하게. 피날레를 시작하자.
Nice, Rhodia. Okay, we got Sasha out of the way. Oh shit, Don. We're fine.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
불길 속으로.
떼어내주지.
다 죽어라.
Unbelievable. My first kindred to be created without their authorization is this bumbling fool? I pray for your forgiveness, my parents. Begone from my sight. At least thou hast brought me blood bags for sustenance. Yet it must be the responsibility of a parent to clean up the mess of his child. What a load of shit. With that, Cassetti reached out towards the pile of blood bags on the ground then. Huh? Oh. Oh. Oh, what abundance! I had nearly forgotten this sensation. An armor of hardened blood materialized over the blood fiend's body. His sheer aggression and hatred was palpable enough to make our scream call. It appears that he has empowered himself by reaping their blood. Though my power is yet to fully return, this magnificent armor is quite befitting of a parade for the prince who hath become a king. Without agree? Yes, sir, yes you do, of course you do. Challenge me now, or rebels, challenge thy king.
조금씩 끝이 보이네요.
Yeah. Sinclair, you want to use your lantern for me? Go use the lantern. You know what, Rodion? I'll set that. Oh shit! Sinclair! Ooh. Okay, I see the issue here. Well, I guess we just do this. Here. Oh, you're so right. It doesn't matter if you do evades, huh? He has so much health, oh my god. I mean, I think we'll be fine, but... Okay.
나무와 함께
Wow, look at how innocent Sinclair looks when he's not goddamn corrupted. Oh.
여러분에게 도움이 되었으면 좋겠네요.
Hmm. Let's just ignore that.
잘라낸다.
My god. Okay.
이런 건 한 번도 본 적 없어요.
What? Did I just do full damage? Just hit it? Full damage? Full damage all the way? It's a set piece? Ah. So we just defense it. Is what I'm hearing. We defense it, guys. We defense it. Is this what you want me to do? Is this the answer? That works? Okay. Well, I guess we'll just do this. Oh my god.
이번에는 공격하시기 힘들 것 같아요.
Ah.
최대한 눈에 안 띄게 해야 할
Well then.
것 같아요.
Well then. Ain't that something? Shit. Oh, she's all neutral. You know what? Why don't you counter? Why don't you counter, Rhodia? Hold on, let me redo this real quick. Okay. So we can just make her power counter so she can get rid of some of the blood stacks on us. Kinda works out. It kinda works out. Right? You do that. Neutral. Surely you're... I mean, surely. Really, I believe in you. I believe. Because I have Sinclair's on the orange skill. I need it on the orange skill. Yeah. Alright, well, let's do it. Ah, shit. It's fine. Is it fine? Oh my god! That was not fine. I should have just egoed it. I should have just egoed it. I saw Cat's message too late.
이번에는 공격하시기 힘들 것 같아요.
Hmm.
최대한 눈에 안 띄게 해야 할 것 같아요.
Holy shit. Wow. Favored. Unopposed. Wait. Oh. I think Gregor wins that. We're fine. favored. Gregors and clashing. Oh my god, they're wait. Oh, this is not good. Hold up. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Do we Durante this? Is Durante the answer though here? Should we not save it for a little bit later perhaps? No? Domain expansion? Is it time, guys? We use the domain Dante's domain expansion. He's targeting. Yeah, he's multi-targeting Rodion right now. Which if she gets hit right now, she's gonna get cooked. Not much we can do for Rodion. Classic. That is true. Alright, we're using it, guys. Fuck it, we ball. Like, we can't risk this, guys. Okay. Go use that. Yeah. Just go put the nail debuff and the bleed debuff on him a bit more. Might as well. The eagle's not that great. I don't know. I haven't like had any good moments of using this eco. I'm not gonna lie. It sucks that I don't have enough points to be able to use the healing one. We really have to heal Rhodia a bit more. Oh my god, how did you lose? You said you were gonna win, Otis! You said you were gonna win! What happened? Oh my fucking god. Otis. Don't say you're gonna dominate if you're not gonna dominate! What the hell? You only use the overclock version? Damn. Oh god. Okay. Well, this is tragic. Are you still aiming for Rhodia? You still are aiming for Rhodia. I do see that. God. Another classic indeed, guys. Says that they're going to pop off, does not pop off. Wait, that's neutral. Oh. I kind of want to power counter one of these. I'll power counter that. Why don't you attack this? Yeah, I think that seems fine. Yeah. We need the power counter. Dawn did not use her base eco yet this fight, actually. Is it better for her to use her base eco right now? You would say last curry rice? Also, hello. Hello. I forgot to say hi to you, woman. Bloodthirst. Oh. I actually did not know that. We'll use it. Okay, hold up. Ooh, that red one is an issue. Wait, is this... Okay, we can clash it. Dominate that. Can I trust you to dominate this, Dawn? Can I really trust you to? Fuck it. I don't think there's much we can do here. So yeah. Oh shit, I didn't even notice the sanity. Okay.
죄인인가?
We believe in the don 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 don. Okay, damage. Oh my god.
여러분에게 도움이 되었으면 좋겠네요.
He's panicking. A wasted Rodion attack? She didn't power counter? I thought she would powder counter. Damn, that kind of sucks. Wait. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter, huh? Okay, well. We just do this, I suppose. Took over the power counter class? Oh, I see. I didn't know that. Huh. The more you know. Also, that Gregor damage is illegal. Rodion's HP is low-key not okay. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't think we'd have to matter too much right now, right? Like, we're kind of steamrolling him. Oh. He dead? He's dead. Don't worry, guys. We won. He dead. It don't even matter. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Yes, I love your boiling human blood, but this is too painful. This guy keeps regenerating no matter how many times we tear him to pieces. I don't know if you can... The mental fatigue finally got to Gregor and Sinclair, who collapsed to the ground. The strange environment of war trains was proving to be a significant help to the Blood Fiend's regenerative ability. The battle continued much longer than our scuffles at the K-Corp border checkpoint, or our struggle against the endless hordes of the dead at the basement of Wuthering Heights. The sinners had all grown much stronger since then, but they were reaching a breaking point. Don Quixote continues to wildly pummel the Blood Fiend with her lance, breaking, stabbing, and crushing him every time a body part regenerated. I am so hungry. Ridiculous. Thy hunger is no justification for this massacre thou hast wrought. Shut up, you don't understand. You don't know how awful it is surviving for 200 years on that disgusting, horrible... No, I don't want to even think about it. Shut up, be quiet. No, I'm sorry, I'll be good. Please, let me just have a sip. Just the smallest sip, please. It won't matter how many times you stab me. I shan't stop until all of thy flesh and bone and organs are crushed into a vicious, shapeless mush, never to become whole again. But the Blood Fiend's regeneration is so powerful that he's recovering as fast as Don Quixote is destroying him. He's regenerating at an insane rate. We can't... My kindred, my child! I have given thee new life, invited thee to this banquet. So do thy responsibilities. The blessings of a parent must be repaid, no? What can I do? Find their weakness, break their anchor, make them kneel and grovel before me in desperation just as you had. Wait, I think I've got an idea. Sasha began looking around wildly, surprised by Cassetti's sudden command. It's that the way they fight reminds me a lot of the way we're prosthetic using fixers fight. Just as prosthetic fixers slowly lose their sense of self-preservation, the limbs becoming no more important than tools to be replaced. These idiots act with such abandon, as if they have multiple lives to burn through. With nothing to protect, they throw themselves wildly into battle like moths to a flame. And forgot to look what's really important, like this little thing. With one of her remaining arms, Sasha picked up. The MasterCard key Fall showed her in one of the previous cars. Don Quixote, stop her now! Oh, my parent, I offer this gift to you. Ooh. Don Quixote immediately leaped at the fixer, but one of her arms struck her away with great force. Ishmael and Mirsad, who had been holding Cassetti down, were no match for his strength. Without Don Quixote's fury, the Blood Fiend threw them both to the side and grabbed the key card. This is the key to the first-class cars, my lord. With this, grow your army of bloodbags to bring glory to the kingdom. No. Cassetti examines the master key card with clear interest. Without that key card, we'll be trapped inside this train for thousands of years until it reaches its destination. Dante, I believe that I've tried my utmost to overcome this adversity, without access to false knowledge and intelligence. However, with our loss of the master key card, the uncertainty of this circumstance has greatly exacerbated at the origin of this plight. Faust took a deep breath as if she was about to take a deep dive into the source of all this trouble. Must be my over-reliance on Faust. From what I can tell, Faust has always been operating based on information she received from Faust, so a situation like this, where she has to make a decision on her own, has to be unfamiliar to her. But Faust is an admirable sinner with or without Faust. I've been thinking the same thing about myself, actually, that I might have been relying too much on that perfect Faust. But even without Faust, you still gave us good directions to follow after analyzing the information we brought you. Maybe uncertainty itself doesn't always have to be a problem for us. Remember? Thus the lack of plan itself becomes the plan. You said yourself. I see. Indeed, among many, I am a Faust that believes in uncertainty. Our loss of the master key card is but one of innumerable uncertain variables in the equation. The constant is, however, that the Blood Fiend is just as desperate as we are. Thus the only option that remains at present is to compromise. You dare. Looks like thou art the one who's been regenerating your friends. Stop. Stop doing that, alright? Don't heal a single one of them, or I'll smash your precious key to pieces. Manager Esquire. Compromise? To compromise with a villain as well as that... I didn't have the time to regenerate Don Quixote's severe injuries just yet, and the rest of the sinners were already unconscious. The only sinner who could still move and talk normally was Faust, whom I just rewound the clock for. Yeah, let's do that. Very well. Then Cassetti, why don't we move this conversation to a different location? Only I will accompany Dante to this negotiation. I will make my intentions clear now. Dante and I will not attack you there. There's no doubt in my mind that Cassetti must be completely exhausted by the unending barrage of attacks from Don Quixote and the sinners. Faust's suggestion that we move this conversation to a different place without the sinners must have been a sweet one. Just you two, huh? Yes, the freight car is immediately adjacent to this one. That is where we will further discuss what we each have to offer one another. That clock must be thy monarch then, And thou art one of the retainers. Correct. Very well. This will be a royal debate then. It is only right that a royalty talks to no one else but the one who is his equal. Manager Esquire. We'll be back in a minute, Don Quixote. Thus, we left the incapacitated sinners and Don Quixote, who watched on with hollow, despondent eyes as we walked away. We carefully made our way into the freight car. So, Faust, why are we doing this in the freight car again? Dante, this will be my first attempt at a gamble. A gamble? What? With that, the door closed shut behind us. Oh my god, guys, we have false gambling. I never thought I would ever see this day to come. I'm not gonna lie. We love gambling! Yes, we love gambling. Because that tape get curved. Yes, hello, Terratame, hello. Oh boy, how is this negotiation gonna go? We love gambling, everybody. We love gambling. So this passageway leads straight into Mephistopheles. This is where it all started. This stupid bus woke me from my slumber. If only this bus hadn't completely filled up the freight car, I wasn't planning to start the parade so soon or create a kindred here. Dante. The connection has been restored. Connection? The suddenness of her statement briefly knocked me off my train of thought. I looked at her and cocked my head in confusion, and she replied with an even quieter whisper without looking away from the blood fiend. Boarding Mephistopheles has re-established my connection to Faust. Did you know that this would work? No, and as I have stated before, this was a pure incalculable gamble based on my own uncertain hypothesis. This success helps me to somewhat comprehend Miss Rhodia's fascination with gambling. A faint smile appeared on Faust's lips for a moment before fading away. Now that the connection has been re-established, I would like to make a complaint against the Faust and the Gestel staff management regarding the fact that they have neglected to list the information pertaining to the loss of connection within the interiors of the warp trains. However, finding a solution to this situation takes precedence. I have much reason to believe that their omission was done on purpose, but I hope such is not the case. Faust gently advanced toward the blood fiend. Let us discuss the details of our compromise. What are you willing to accept in return for the master key card? If thou wert just anyone, I would have just wished to turn thee all into bloodbags and drink every last drop of thy blood. But thou art unlike a common person. My wish is to maintain the secrecy of this kingdom of mine for as long as possible. And thine wish is to leave this place, right? Once I relinquish to thee this key card, and once thou returnest to your first-class seats, we'll live here happily ever after like nothing happened. And when the train gets there, you get off the train. Everything goes back to the way they're supposed to be. How's that for a deal? Like nothing happened. Faust, what about the job we were contracted to do in the first place? Our memories and any signs of battle will be entirely erased upon our arrival. We will have no way to relay our news, whether one of success or failure. If we had the means to defeat him, then at least W Corp would inform us that our contract was successful after the fact. However, this current scenario will leave us with nothing to show for, not even the smallest hint, and the contract will end in failure. However, what takes precedence over the contract is you and the sinner's psychological stability. It's not like we've always been successful, so that was something I could live with, but what about the other passengers of this train, and its future passengers? I remember the look on Don Quixote's face whenever we would come across these inevitable forces of injustice. Faust does not reply. Yet the lack of reply was a reply all on its own. Are we going to have to let them die? Innocent lives will be lost, but we cannot prioritize their lives over our safeties. That must be false in the company's policy. And yet, I shan't allow this. Don Quixote? I thought her wounds were too severe for her to even crawl, let alone walk. But with sheer will, she pushed herself through the pain to reach the freight car. I will not tolerate this. We cannot let this vile wretch live and turn a blind eye to everything he's done. It's her. Again. Will you want to stay here for what is essentially eternity within this train? I know the truth. Everything hinges on this key, doesn't it? As soon as I break this in half, you'll have to spend the eons inside this. I care not. I would welcome the eons should it means eons of penance for thee. 'Tis much preferable to letting thy villainy go unanswered. Let this place be the site of thine eternal judgment. Faust and I grabbed Don Quixote. She'd normally be strong enough to wriggle free of our grips, but she'd already pushed herself beyond her limits merely by walking here. Faust, unhand me. Thou mustn't let him live, Manager Esquire. Don Quixote, letting him destroy that key means that you'll be condemning the sinners to thousands of years of torment. Then I shall fill the millennia with the tales of legends I have read in the magazines. No, time, however infinite, shall be too great to overcome should we endeavor as one. Certainly, you are aware that your suggestion is no solution at all, Don Quixote. Then there has to be another way, no? thou art both possessors of great wisdom. False manager Esquire, is there truly no path in which we may bring justice to the villain and the sinners remain unharmed? Her struggle begins to wane, but this was no acceptance. This was dejection. Wait, Don Quixote, no! In the commotion, we failed to notice that the Blood Fiend had been quietly advancing at us. We let Don Quixote go at the last second, but we were a second too late. Oh, my dearest parent, forgive my transgressions of creating another without thy sanction. Oh. Thou shalt become my next kindred. Ew. Oh no. Oh no. Ooh. Cassetti screams incoherently as he leaps onto Don Quixote, piercing her neck with his fangs before we even had the chance to do anything. Oh, I did not expect this to be the solution. False? What do you mean the solution? According to this information I had viewed in the past, and once again just now, it's... Dante, take cover behind me and remain absolutely still. And please do not note that the other sinners must never hear a word of what is about to happen. Oh. Don Quixote levitates slightly into the air, the strings on her shoes unraveling as they slip off her feet on their own. He looks on with bewilderment as her running shoes fall to the floor. And... Rocinante? Her shoes? I've always had this question swirling at the unfocused backstage of my mind. Why are you always so protected of those running shoes, Don Quixote? Huh? Running shoes? Dost thou speak of our dear Rocinante? Yeah, those. Have battle through thick and thin, feast and famine with dear Rocinante, in sorrow and in joy, no matter the brutality of trials that has struck me. It has been a loyal steed by my side for however long it has been in existence. She doesn't know when she got them. Manager Esquire, wherefore hast thou not saluted Rocinante as well? This may be a rather auspicious occasion to do so. Nope, I think I'm good. Be not so bashful, go on ahead. Look, Stinky. Small girl is torturing TikTok with Stinky. Stinky they are not. Scuffed as they might appear, Rocinante is in pristine condition. Also, thou shalt not address me as a small girl. Evacuate, evacuate. Don Quixote, don't tell me you go to sleep wearing those running shoes. I mean, Rocinante. Oh, I have always been quite certain that someone so esteemed as the manager Esquire would care to ask me how Rocinante fares. I didn't mention that this question was inspired by numerous eyewitness reports from other sinners who saw her wandering the halls in her pajamas and wearing Rocinante. Verily, Rocinante and I remain bound together, even in slumber. There shall be no separating the two of us. We are bound not by need or nor want, we are simply bound together through plight and delight. Now that I think about it, every single identity of Don Quixote was also wearing those pair of running shoes. Rocinante. Oh. Have you ever taken them off? Take them off? Why, whatever dost thou mean? As in detach Rocinante from my body? 'Tis a very odd insinuation thou makest. He looks at me with puzzled eyes, as though taking those pair of running shoes off was somehow an inconceivable idea. They were something much more than just her favorite pair of running shoes. Her odd attitude of treating something so far removed from common sense as something completely ordinary. What does Rocinante mean to Don Quixote? What even is that thing? An overwhelmingly powerful presence suddenly explodes, radiating in all directions. As the metallic stench of blood suffocates the bus, filling every corner of it with its sickening horror. Then darkness. No, that's impossible. What? Don Quixote? In all-absorbing darkness, a voice is our only light. You are the second kindred. How did you... I should have felt your presence. She's the second kindred? What the fuck? Oh my god, wait. Okay, wait. Yo, wait, yo. Wait. She looks so scary, but so cool. But also like, what? Holy shit. Guys! This is so cool! What the fuck? Oh my god, my love for Don Quixote just spiked. Like, it's even higher now, guys. It's higher than it's ever been. I do think I saw a faint outline of an aura. I see a red aura and a long-fur adornment of sorts. Through the shimmering aura, I think I saw red eyes. You have committed the sin of filial impiety, transgressor. I know that voice, but I also don't. I've never heard of it in such a low, imposing tone before. It speaks towards the lesser being. The blood fiend, shriveled and kneeling, trembling, pathetic. Mercy, O venerated ancestor! I beg for the mercy of the second kindred. I beg for the mercy of the second kindred. I beg. Insolent worm. Oh. Oh. Crimson droplets of blood slowly rises around the blood fiend's mouth, before congealing and sealing his mouth shut. No language worming its way out of your maw shall be worth my ears. No. To commit the sin of filial impiety, by attempting to travel against the bloodstream, to commit such abomination against your ancestor, I cannot well sanction your impudence of continued existence. Oh, he's dead. He's fucked. Coagulate, then melt away. Cassetti's body begins liquefying into a slick stream of blood, his form curdling and crumbling, then dripping to the ground. Rapidly yet ponderously, like that ice cream Don Quixote loved so much, melting away on the floor, heated under the searing sun. You. Don Quixote turned to look at me, who was still on the ground after being thrown by the shockwave. And with a cryptic look of pity, she uttered something. Indeed, you must be the promised timepiece. Something I couldn't quite understand. Rocinante, to me. Rocinante, I beseech you. I carefully reached out, grabbed her shoes. I slipped them onto her bare feet, one by one. Excuse me, I burped a little bit. One day, she gasped, stumbled, and slumped to the ground. Oh my god, guys, I'm so hyped up for chapter 7. I'm so hyped right now. Oh, I see why people love this. I see why people really like this interlude now. It's so cool. Sometime later. Can somebody explain what just happened in a way that makes sense? I knew that the sinners would all be shocked and confused. After all, one day including Faust and Don Quixote all came back to life after I rewound the clock. All that remained was the destroyed door to the freight car and the disgusting obliterated remains of what was once Cassetti. Most personnel had lost their consciousness from the mental stress of the prolonged battle against the blood fiend. Whatever measure it was that the manager has taken, it can be said that it was appropriate. I guess so. Well, good work everyone. However, the definition of most personnel excludes 3 individuals, therefore it must be most appropriate to direct any questions to them. Wait. Who are those 3? False. Then the manager. And Don Quixote, who is still unconscious. Oh, really? The 3 of you? Wow, you're spot on. When did you even have the time to notice that? Oh boy. I've identified the 3 conscious individuals by analyzing their walking, cadence, and voices, moments before my loss of consciousness. Right, so what's going on with the last? Why is she still out cold? She appears to be in a state of deep slumber. As she is not at a risk of death, she will be waking up soon. I remember everything. Of course, Don Quixote's sudden transformation. How she practically erased the blood fiend and his kindred from the world without even moving a finger. But I also remember Faust's last words. And please do note that the other sinners must never hear a word of what is about to happen. Don Quixote was unconscious, and Faust was answering every question with silence. It was only natural that their eyes would all fall on me. That's, you know... Wait, that reminds me. Where's the key card? Last I remember, it was in Cassetti's hands. who is in a far more presentable state than he was in before. Wait, so what about the keycard he was holding, though? It has been half liquefied. The remains have melded with his finger bones. It appears to have become one with the middle phalanges. Wait. Oh. Oh no. Everyone calm down. Calm down! I said calm down! I really should have packed more cigarettes, huh? How about we force one of those doors open? The master keycard is not an absolute necessary element to resolving this situation. Well, how? It will require approximately 5 hours to formulate and proceed with an explanation in a manner that will allow the listeners to fully comprehend the exact how of this methodology. Blah 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 blah. Therefore, it will be delivered to you in a digestible, summarized format. Well, that was short-lived. She acting all smug again. We can utilize the backdoor of Mephistopheles. The steely confidence in her declaration was more than enough to win us all over. We headed to the corridor past the back door, Don Quixote slung over one of our shoulders, and arrived at our destination. I can't not ask what happened after seeing the state you're all in. Sandy pitter, sandy patter. Grains of sand and seashell-like things fell with every step the sinners took. Ask someone after me. To explicate, it can... Grains of sand roll about in my throat with every word spoken. Some time ago. Boss explained the simpler gist of this plan as we made our way to the back door. To put it simply, we will spend the time at a space disconnected from the train. The train should be arriving at its destination in approximately 10 seconds, going by the A-Corp timescale. All you must do is to remain somewhere in our original dimension for that duration. And with that, False came to a sudden stop in the middle of one of the corridors. Wait, are you seriously just gonna open that door? With this many doors in here, are you sure that's the right one? Yes, this is the correct door. Its safety is completely ensured. Lass, at least tell us what's past that door. I did not bother verifying that particular information myself. It is necessary for future endeavors that I gain the experience of encountering something completely unexpected. What? Oh, wait. False did not wait for Heathcliff to finish his sentence before jerking the door wide open. Now please enter through this door. With False stern command, we quickly walked into a building that looked like a derelict, abandoned hospital of sorts. I think we walked into the middle of a sandstorm. Aren't we supposed to be indoors? How the heck is this even happening? I can't open my eyes. I got sand in my mouth. Wait, no, wait. Is this a sandstorm? But aren't we inside a building? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The sinner blurted out a colorful series of complaints, trying to cover themselves in the blasting sandstorm. But False continued to count in that same indifferent rhythm before dragging us out of there just as urgently as she had heard us ascend. So, we managed to return safe and sound to the interiors of the warp train, as it arrived at the P-Corp's platforms. As the train was still getting cleaned up, that is. And with our bodies completely covered in sand, I thought we'd never make it. Oh, are you guys okay? How did these passengers... We were so happy to be done with this whole ordeal that even the W-Corps cleanup agents in the middle of a cleanup mission looked downright hospitable. We are employees of Limbus Company. We boarded the warp train at the behest of your employer. Oh, so you guys are the people that our captain told us about. They really let you guys keep your memories, huh? Oh, that reminds me. One of the employees must be sleeping inside that hibernation pod over there. Oh, that, huh? I've never seen it in action before. Thanks. Let me go check. That hidden compartment behind the chair that the cleanup agent crawled into. Inside it was... There isn't anyone in here. Maybe we're looking at the wrong pod? This is the correct spot. Then the disappearance of the individual who has entered this pod would indicate... I guess these folks aren't all there in the head either. Maybe you guys are just mistaken? I doubt that. Yes, we must have suffered from a momentary collective hallucination caused by fatigue. Very well then, we will see ourselves out. Boss cut the conversation short before the other sinners began asking too many questions. Now that I became intimately familiar with the meaning of that gesture, I followed her out to the outside without another word. Have we arrived? Rise and shine, lass. Had enough nap yet? Blah blah. I see. I will hear the details of the incident on the bus once we're traveling again. Understood. Any and all relevant reports will be sent to W-Corp, VIA, LCCA, and... Virgilius was already there when we arrived. He was sharing a conversation with False about what went down inside the train with a serious expression. I will now leave with Caron and watch them unfasten Mephistopheles from the train. The minute hand on the manager's head seems to be desperately signaling me that they have a lot of burning questions to ask you. Allow me to give you two some space. I was finally able to ask False once Virgilius left. Why did you do that? False's body was quiet, literally blasted to pieces from the sheer explosive pressure that filled the room the moment Don Quixote's shoes came off. It was as though she knew that it was going to happen. Because it was the preferable course of action to having the same explosive demise occur to your body instead. Huh. I do find it regrettable that you were made to turn to a clock, despite my knowledge of the high likelihood of my death upon that occurrence. No, I'm not blaming you for that. I just want to know how long you've known that Don Quixote is. That is something I've been aware since the LCB was first established. The same could be said of Virgilius. Of course. However, it was by the will of the LCA superiors that this knowledge remains withheld from the manager until the appropriate moment. And that appropriate moment was back there. According to my private judgment, yes. Well, as my connection to all communications, including one to False, had been severed, I was not in a position to receive the headquarters authorization for that action. Right. Though the full truth may remain obscured still, we are once again returned. Returned. That was a layered word. We returned to one of the warp platforms in our own dimension. We returned to our daily lives of speculating about what's next in our path, and the usual False reconnected to False has returned. Yes. False replied to Yusing's nebulous wording with a quiet affirmation. Please, do not take this query with any greater import than a mere jest, however. Do you suppose I shall see her again? He shot a puzzled look at Yusing. In a way, it was quite the pleasant encounter, was it not? Yusing amused ambiguously before leaving us. Phew. Damn! Yusing knows what's up, guys. Okay, not gonna lie, it kind of explains a lot when I see a lot of people ship Yusing and False together. I actually see a lot of fan art of them together. I was like always curious. I was like, I can kind of see it, but I also don't. And now I kind of see it now. I do kind of see it. It's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. I like it. Yes. And also, damn, he really risked so funny. The incident at the warp train was such a chaotic mess that it felt shorter than it really was. But I also learned so much about so many things. But it was too soon to start racking our brains about what kind of nonsense child we were about to face in P Corp, so I decided to enjoy this momentary peace. How do we find ourselves at P Corp? Wherefore is my throat so parched? I'm too tired to explain. Chiquita, you missed out big time on one crazy adventure. Huh? That vibrated the last few grains of the sand out of my ears. The sinners look at Don Quixote's bewildered, awakening, grinning. There's no way to know what we'll be facing here at District 16, where P Corp was located, but we got this, right? The same face I saw in the False, who believes in uncertainty rises within me too. I looked up to False only to see that False was looking at me as well. She nodded at me with her usual barely noticeable smile, and I gave her a light nod back in return. Time to go find ourselves another golden bow. Wow! Oh my god, guys! That was great. That was great. I enjoyed that. That was amazing. Oh yeah, that was great. Oh shit. Oops. I don't mean to accidentally do that. Oh. Oh, it's because I didn't clear this within 15 turns. It's fine. I'll figure that out later. The dream ending. Okay, I'm gonna go through the fourth Walpurgis Night, and then I shall plan another day to start on Kanto 7, the dream ending. I'll probably post it on my Discord and my Twitter on the day of when I decide to do the stream. I'm definitely gonna take a little break from it, maybe like a 2-day, 3-day break before we continue on to Kanto 7 though. But please, if you're curious when I'm gonna start the stream for that one, keep watch on my Discord and my Twitter. But before we end the stream, I want to do the 4th Walpurgis Night. Okay, never mind. What is this? Yeah, I was not expecting that. What? Is this... Oh, it's just story? Is this like a fight? Oh, it is a fight. Okay. And into theater. Oh, okay. Do you guys want the story? I mean, I probably will just go through it just because I've gone through everything so far, including the Walpurgis Night story. So I'll probably go through the Walpurgis Night story real quick for the stream before I end it. So for the next one, fairly fast? Really? Oh, it's just 2 episodes. They add them in as a small story and fight after the Walpurgis event. And oh, I see. It is pretty short. It is pretty short. I'm just gonna go through the story then, and then we'll just call it. Yeah, I don't want to skip it just because I always went through Walpurgis Night stories anyways, so might as well. Alright, I did as you asked. I think it's the one where Yising debuted. I did as you asked, Faust. I looked up toward Faust away from the PDA in my hands as it rattled and fixed the identity cards into each slot. Today's the 4th Walpurgis Night. The location, it's that same Lobotomy Corp headquarters of the past we visited. Its point in time and the branch of possibility uncertain. Thank you. Please proceed with the slotted identities to suppress the imminent ordeal. Okay. I slotted in the Lobotomy Corp identities I pulled up during the previous Walpurgis Night. Faust probably wants to study correlation between Walpurgis Night itself and the identities that can be pulled up only during each Walpurgis Night. Oh my god, I want double pistol Yiseng, guys. I swear to god. I know I want double pistol Yiseng and I really want ring Yiseng. Like, I still want both of them, I'm not gonna lie. God. Well, it ain't much of my business what identity we're supposed to wear, but can't you at least bother telling us where we are? I swear it's always you two who... Yeah, I agree. We won't know what to do if you keep the important stuff just between the 2 of you, right? Yeah, what he said. I was trying to find a way to avoid sounding irritated. You're a way of mincing words, don't you? Thanks, lad. Huh? I guess. A few? Functionality upgrade? Come on, don't talk about me like I'm a machine or something. How does Sinclair... Like, it's so amazing to me how Sinclair's able to, like, understand what Roshu's, like, abbreviating. Faust cleared his throat in an attempt to clear the air and stem the conversation from going on a tangent. We are at the Information Team, department of the former L-Corp headquarters. Information Team. Well, I do recall that place we had visited was called the Control Team Department. Maybe they added a new department with every Walpurgis Night? The training team and the safety team, both adjacent to this department, are currently accessible. Therefore, your assessment is untrue. However, it is possible that there is a reason that the first place the door connected to was this location. Perhaps further analysis may yield more concrete information. She's trying to take an active role in learning things for herself. It seems that the events of the warp train rattled her more than I thought. She's probably concerned that similar loss of connection to that repository of false knowledge may occur again. This place is pretty barren, huh? The more I look around, the more I see just purple. You got that right. Can't chalk that up just to being a corporate office, if you ask me. Doesn't seem like a great workplace environment at all. A good commander decorates their subordinates' living spaces with their morale in mind, even if it means going against their own tastes. Whoever heads his department must be somewhat quite unfit to lead. I bet they're not the only ones who's unfit to lead. Ishmael, who was rummaging through a pile of miscellaneous items, muttered from a distance as Otis mused at the ceiling. I found some employee doodles and scribbles back here. Oh, and I suppose the department leads were called Sephira. They're saying something about how their Sephira is... Now that's some spicy profanity. I will read them. Mersal, you don't have to read the insults and profanities. Understood. In that case, I will instead peruse the document first and produce a comprehensive summary. Sometime later. Oh, let me drink some. That is all. Okay. So first of all, thanks for skipping past all the profanities, but wow, that made me feel bad. I've got nothing to do with this place. It is not uncommon to see department leads shouting and butting heads, but perhaps a physical altercation would have been preferable to letting such bitter animosity fester like this. It was clear to us that the Sephiroth did not share a very healthy work relationship with one another. Not to mention that not many employees really put their faith in their Sephiroth. Hey, this Sephiroth they call Malkuth. She must have been the Sephiroth of the control team department where we fought the ordeal last time. I can tell from the way she talks that she treats her employees like parts of a machine, driving them to their deaths, replacing them when they inevitably crumble. I guess a wing is a wing after all. Yeah, look, here's a conversation log with Hot, the Sephiroth of the training team. It looks like she started off pretty rough, but managed to avoid making things hostile in the office. From the sounds of it, she really cares for her employees. Oh well, that's a whole nother type of annoying though, you know? Then her heart would never have rested easy as long as she was here. The grievances of the employees would have reached her ears nonetheless. She may have given herself doses of painkillers she hid under the label of altruism, that she truly cared for them despite it all. And this Yesod must have been, I see, the Sephiroth of the information team department here. Clearly a stickler for the rules. Viper, he was called. Perchance he had an unsavory habit of sinking his teeth into his employees. It's only a figure of speech. He does seem like the irritating type, but he would have served as a decent strategist. This appears to be a meticulous record of the work schedules. According to that digital calendar, the upcoming schedule is fast approaching. There's no time to share the details regarding the ordeal. I suppose we should have checked the documents first. A heavy thump of the light follows Otis's deep sigh. The lobby lights suddenly changed and the floor began to tremble. Well, can't say I'm surprised. We knew that an ordeal was coming after all. Still, I wish we'd have some prior knowledge of our enemies this time. What in the name of wings is that creature? Vermin, is it? 'Tis so far yet appears so grand in size. Naturally, we whipped around to look at Don Quixote, who then directed our attention towards something writhing in the distance. A thing of bizarre shape, crawling and squirming. If they have appeared in the safety team's corridors as well, then there's more. There's more! Faust, anything you can tell us about them before they start rushing at us? I shouted, watching— Ew, the sound effects. I shouted, watching with horror as the curiously violet grub-like creature slowly spawned into the hallway from thin air. Even though she probably didn't have much to tell me about them anyway. They will not rush us. There were reports that these entities are rather slow. In fact, they're an ordeal of violet. Time, dawn. If they are indeed violet, then it is unlikely that we will have much time to discuss this further. We must immediately engage them, starting from the safety team hallway. A similar situation is very likely imminent in the information team and the training team hallway. Huh, so what? We've got to crush them like there's a timer or something? That would be an apt attitude, yes. The entities will soon be manifesting in every department. If we fail quickly to clear this zone and seek and destroy them in other departments. If we don't, then we may come face to face with the kind of pandemonium we would rather not have the displeasure of experiencing. Every cliff falls counter in each department will immediately drop to 0. And thus the abnormalities contained within shall be released. Oh bollocks, come on, we just got off that bloody warp train. I think we'd had enough of the wing shenanigans to deal with by now. Yeah, zip it and grab your weapon. I'm going in. Oh, it's like a bunch of slime. Okay. Oh my god, just imagine how amazing if we had a Project Moon anime. I would thoroughly enjoy that. This episode 2. Okay. Slime cleaning time. It would be so amazing. Oh yeah, if done right, especially if done right. That's a relief. At least it wasn't indestructible. A rubble of broken stones lay about the exhausted sinner's feet. But that didn't last long. I see it fades away to naught. Yes, while the entity took the form of a stone steel, an object commonly composed of inorganic matter, it is likely that its existence itself is perceived as a religious artifact in certain indeterminate locales. True. That giant object did suddenly appear out of thin air before dropping right in front of us. The steel, which had once threatened the sinners with its tentacles, soon disappeared from our sight like it never existed. If False hadn't pushed me into the hallway just in time, I'd have been... Dante. We would have all died forever if that thing had crushed me too. We were not crushed by the steel, to be exact. The real issue was the shockwave that came after that crash. I thought I slipped away in time, but I had no idea the shockwave would be so deadly. We're going to have to find a way to deal with that shockwave somehow, or it'll be too risky to continue with our Walpurgis expedition. I'm not saying that I'm really scared of the pain I have to go through when reviving the sinners, which really hurts, of course, especially when it's 12-fold, but I'm not sure if I want to ask them repeatedly run a mission that's guaranteed to kill them in the end. Moreover, we don't even know if whatever we'll find here will be worth all the trouble. According to the information given, it is said that the ordeals cannot occur in immediate succession. They cannot occur right one after another? What, did the giant piece of rock have nothing to do with an ordeal then? Yes, it was indeed an ordeal of Violet. However, this was the noon of Violet. Blah blah blah. Ordeals of the noon are a degree higher than ordeals of the dawn, which we already have experience with. False brows were frowning at a nigh imperceptible angle. She was sighing even as she relayed that information to us, clearly perturbed by something. I suddenly recall what False speculated back at the warp train, that the Geshe-Laft may have made a purposeful omission. You think that this is the Geshe-Laft withholding information from you again? There's no evidence to say for certain. They did not withhold the information regarding the ordeal of noon. Thus, a more likely explanation is that this was merely a manifestation of a rare possibility. Yet your suggestion does concern me. If it was indeed a manifestation of a rare possibility, then we must seek for clues in this Walpurgis night that may point us to an explanation. So, should we explore further? But... Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Oh my god, it's Lobotomy Corporation! What the fuck? Holy shit. Face the fear, make the future. Hello everyone, can you hear me? A loud buzz crackle and an unfamiliar voice broke through the awkward silence we were rendering in. Blime you, who said that? Oh, I hearken unto thee! Oh, I guess I can't hear your answers anyway. Ahem. Ignore what I just said. Hello, this is Hod from Training Team speaking. It appears that the Sephiroth Hod whose name we first learned of in that earlier document is the one speaking to us. So this is her voice, huh? Gotta say, this is kind of what we all expected her to sound, right? We are all investigating how and why an ordeal of noon occurred immediately after the dawn. I understand that an unfamiliar situation like this may cause a sense of alarm and anxiety, but there's nothing to worry about as long as you remember the instructions under the exception number 40 AA measure, which I made sure to mention in every training session. Exception number 40-AA? Just how many exceptions did she come up with? She must be a leader with a very hands-on approach to team management. Commanders who are overprotective of their personnel often make such mistakes. Guys, I don't think it's time to share our first impressions. We don't know what measure she's talking about. At this rate, we'll get... Oh. There was a dull thwick just as Sinclair began to air his concerns. Did I just get shot? You there, at the lobby. You've been dozing off during our drills, haven't you? I'm pretty sure I explained that in outlier cases like these, we'll be firing physical intervention shield bullets we share with the middle layer. So why are you acting all surprised like you've never been shot before? Shield bullets? That bullet does look kind of familiar, actually. We carefully approached Sinclair to take a closer look at where the projectile hit him. Oh hey, I recognize this. This just looks like the decay ampule. That almost melted me into a puddle back at K-Corp. I'm getting unpleasant goosebumps just from thinking about it. You're totally badass though, is she? Jumping right in front of Dante, taking the bullets for them and everything. Then she went ahead and hurled the bloody harpoon into Clockhead's shoulder herself only a few months later. Like a good circular narrative structure. Okay, you smartasses. It is not a K-Corp ampule. While it is true that K-Corp's technology was used to regenerate its employees, a barrier field like this fundamentally differs from the type of technology used by K-Corp. It is said that Lobotomy Corporation maintains collaborative relationships with other wings, including K-Corp. Though the said collaborations, they obtain bullets and ampules of diverse functionalities, useful for the workings of this company. It appears that the shield bullet is a result of one such partnership. Wait, then this bullet will... It is said that this bullet can partially negate physical damage, which is also known as red damage in Lobotomy Corporation terminology. It will likely shield us from the shockwave created by the steel as well. We'll have a counseling session later about your lack of focus during training. For now, please try to suppress this ordeal of noon as soon as possible. I'll give everyone a physical intervention shield, so let's try to take care of this ordeal with as few casualties as possible. Dante, let us Oh, right. Let's gonna move on and deal with the other seals as well. Indeed. It would be preferable if we return after confirming the destruction of seals in other areas as well. We'll have to visit Lobotomy Corporation headquarters of different possibilities as well. We'll make use of Sephira and the shield as soon as we are able to then. Good idea. Thanks to the unexpected support from Sephira, we were able to explore further through the Walpurgis Night. All those trainings were for their own good. Is that so hard to understand? It was just that I couldn't help but think back to Hot's last few utterances that managed to sift through the static. It made me wonder what really went down here, at the headquarters of Lobotomy Corporation. That was really cool. It's really cool because I've seen my friend actually play Lobotomy Corporation, and I like how they included like a little message from them too. That was nice. Huh. Yeah, the UI change was really cool. I definitely was not expecting the UI change, I'm gonna be honest. That was great. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. Alright guys. That's gonna be it for today's stream. So considering how the schedule is going, I will probably stream Factorio tomorrow night for some chill Factorio just to rest for a bit. And then I might rest on Wednesday, and then we might come back on Thursday night for the Limbus company. We're gonna start on Kanto 7. Probably on Thursday night. I will not say for sure, but I will put an update on my Discord server and Twitter. So yeah. Thank you. It's just how should I say this? I don't think I'm burning myself out from Limbus company. I'm just worried because, you know, you guys surely, most of you guys know how long it takes for them to release a chapter. So I just like, you know, I feel like I want to take my time for a moment because I don't want to like burn through the chapter so fast. You know, it's just kind of like, we have to wait for a long time for the next chapter afterwards. And it's like, eh. Like, I get why we wait so long because, you know, Project Moon is a pretty small company. And the amount of work they put into their games is amazing as well. And I get that they do need the time to create, you know, amazing updates for us too. So yeah, I don't want to like burn through all of it in a fast pace, you know. I want to take my time. Yes. Hello, Flower Heart. Hello. You finished Moby Dick? Ah, yes. I'm happy you're out of Moby Dick. That Kanto 5 is definitely difficult as heck. I hope you enjoy the Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights. Yes. Oh yes, we will also have the Christmas rerun. And it's crazy how they're all gonna be voiced too. That is true. That is true. I'm excited for the upcoming events that they did talk about in their anniversary stream. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll probably stream every chance they do put it up in events or there's something new that came out. I probably will take the chance to stream Limbus for it as well. So yeah. And then Railway Hell. Oh, I've heard about the difficulties of the railway. I will probably look into it on my own time. Probably for the Chapter 7 stream. To see what's up. But yeah. Alright everybody. That's gonna be it for me today. Today was another successful day, everybody. Alright guys, thank you guys for coming by. I'll see you guys next time. Yippee! Make sure to stay hydrated, everybody. Good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon for those that have a different time zone than I do. Make sure to just stay hydrated no matter what time it is over there. So yeah. Alrighty guys. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming by, everyone. Yippee!